Woke up late, still made 5 bands, did it half asleep, y'all don't stand a chance. Told your whole Discord to buy the dip, now they all in my DMs cause the floor just slipped. I don't trade dreams, I don't chase hype, I just print money while you pray at night. Your mom's in my messages asking for tips, says she likes how I move, yeah she loving the risk. I don't need no luck, I don't need no guide, I just press that green, watch the numbers fly. You can flex fake charts, you can run your mouth, but your broker says you can't even cash it out. Nah, prints don't lie, your bag look heavy, hope you like the ride. Another week, another 100 grand, I might throw a party just to burn a couple bands. They be begging me to share my plays, but if I gave them out, they'd fumble them away. Your mom's in my messages asking for tips, says she likes how I move, yeah she loving the I don't need no luck, I don't need no guide, I just press that green, watch the numbers fly. You can flex fake charts, you can run your mouth, but your broker says you can't even cash it out. Now prints don't lie, your bag look heavy, hope you like the ride. Hope you like the ride. Yeah. I don't need no luck, I don't need no guide, I just press that green, watch the numbers fly. You can flex fake charts, you can run your mouth, but your broker says you can't even cash it out. Now prints don't lie, your bag look heavy, hope you like the ride. Hope you like the ride. Oh, hope you like the ride. Hope you like the ride.
Oh, brother. Good morning. Welcome back to another episode of the Matt Kohrs Show, where apparently the old casino here, the old stonk market is falling apart. I'm going to be that guy. I told you so. Every guru and furu out there on Thursday, Friday, yesterday, buy the dip, we're popping back up. They don't know what they're talking about. Not only do they not know what they're talking about, but they're not putting their money where their mouth is. They're there hoping that they could get a couple cents off of all of you collectively on their whatever, their ad revenue, this, that, the other thing. They're not going to show you a proven track record. They're not going to show you their live trading. It's going to be a bunch of Monday morning quarterbacking, but that's why here in the Goonie community, we do it a little bit differently. We basically take all of what they do the opposite, actually make money, because they have no clue what they're talking about. They don't understand the math of the options market. They don't know what market makers are doing. They don't understand risk to reward. They don't understand edges. They don't understand the math of the market. And let's just be honest, they wish they could be the best trader on this side of the Mississippi. Alas, they are not. I see a couple questions of why are we starting early today? Actually, for a couple things. There's a lot to talk about. Obviously, right now, the market is getting its balls kicked in. Volatility is ripping through the roof. We have Bitcoin below 83,000. There's a lot of panic, a lot of fear. But in reality, if you've been paying attention to this show, we're excited because we're up a shitload of money. So it's more out of pure excitement and pure just gains ripping through the roof. So that's part of it. And also, there's some big political talks today. So yes, President Trump will be speaking at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight, way after the market closes. But in about 5 minutes, the Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick, Mr. Lutnick, will be speaking on CNBC about the tariffs that are going to go in action today. So I figure because there's just a lot happening in the market. We should start early. As always, I'm going to break down what's going on the geopolitical scene, what's going on the economic scene, what's going on individual equities, and then I'm going to give you my personal trading plan for the day, i.e. all the major levels I'll be looking at. We also have to talk a little bit about Captain Condor getting blown out yesterday. Big player, 0DT player, Iron Condors got probably hit for about 1.8 million yesterday. Apparently today, not underwater yet, but if it goes bad today, going to be down about 8 million. So I'm going to call out that position. I'm going to give you all the levels, as I already said. I'm going to show you my current positions. I'm going to show you my real-time trades. But folks, this is what we're doing. It's going to be a good day, as we spoke about really all of last week, as we're talking about really all of this week. This is a money-making opportunity. First of all, if you're an investor, I think it's good to say that, yeah, buy the dip. If you have a 5, 10, 20, 30-year outlook of what's going on, yeah, when you're seeing some of your favorite equities or cryptos at this much of a discount, yeah, you plug your nose, you dollar cost average, and you move on with your life, and you don't care about the day-to-day movement. You just know that you're buying on like a cheaper relative price. Now, as an active trader, that's where the trend actually matters. Remember, investing and trading, they're often conflated, but they are two completely different things, and they seem similar because they're played on the same field, but they are wildly different. For example, as an investor, you could be an investor in Tesla, but in the short term, you should have been playing it to the downside. And in reality, that's how you could hedge out some of your longer term positions. So just as an example, but anyway, we're starting a little bit early today because I thought there would be a lot of questions, comments, concerns, all that type of good jazz. But Howard Lutnick is actually going to be speaking on CNBC about the tariff situation in about 3 minutes. And what's interesting about Howard Lutnick, Mr. Lutnick was actually the guy who brought Rumble to the public market with this SPAC, the Cantor Fitzgerald CFVI, I believe was the ticker. That's actually what switched over into RUM. So kind of interesting that he's speaking this morning. Obviously, elevator to one of the highest levels in the government, and also directly connected to our friends over there at Rumble. Obviously, shout out to Rumble. Just so you guys know, Rumble, if you use that code KOHRS10, KOHRS10, you will get $10 off the annual premium subscription here. Not only do you get to avoid all the breaks, but you're going to get some cool badges and just different things. As you can see, a lot of people in chat already have it. And you're also going to get access to premium content from the likes of Steven Crowder, Dr. Disrespect, and much, much more. Obviously, this as an individual just viewing experience is going to make it better. Not only that, but you're directly supporting the main company fighting for free speech. And also, if you happen to be a Rumble investor, as I am, or even if you're a trader, this is a direct, easy way to support your own investment. So check it out, rumble.com/premium/Kohrs10, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. Use that code KOHRS, KOHRS10, to get $10 off the annual premium membership, and is, as I alluded to before, a direct support of the company who is fighting for your right to free speech. And on that note, directly connected to the company, let's see what Howard has to say. He's coming on about 8:40, so we have about a minute to go. Obviously, the tariffs are the talk of the town right now. For those of you who maybe missed out a little bit, stock futures are flat following big sell-off as Trump's tariff sparked retaliation. They should have updated it. Yeah, stock futures are under pressure again as Trump's tariff sparked retaliation. So looking at how we're in pre-market, we're pretty much at the low value from yesterday on both the SPY and the Qs. For a second, really, when I got up first this morning, we were right at the closing value. But since then, between 7:30-ish, we've puked all the way down to the low value. And not only is that happening, but we're seeing Bitcoin take a bit of a hit. We're also seeing volatility start to expand. VIX, let me go back to the 15. I wanted to show you what the VIX has been doing, just ripping. Really started to get going in late February, and then ever since then, just slowly but surely, kind of a little bit of a drunken stammer, but it is really starting to pick up. VIX just pushing, and we have not seen values this high, I think, since like December, maybe even. When was the last time we were at late December is the last time we saw VIX this high. And then what's kind of crazy is you could check out the VIXX. This is the vol of vol. You can see that's even starting to break out. So once again, the VIXX, VIX, VIXXX, like two X's instead of just the VIX, which is the volatility of the S&P 500. When you add in an extra X, you're getting the volatility of volatility itself, which is also on the precipice of breaking out. So things are going to get crazy. I do have some details and thoughts and opinions on this in general, but the TLDR there is I want you guys to know that for the next couple months, there's been a lot of action in far out of the money calls, as in there's a lot of money being bet on vol absolutely ripping. And remember, generally, not all the time, but generally, VIX and the overall market are going to be moving in opposite directions. So the fact that someone is taking a very large outsized bet on the VIX ripping is kind of suggestive of the SPY taking a horrible hit. So just wanted to throw that out there. I could give you, like I said, the stats, facts, and figures in a second. But as you guys are joining in, I'm still seeing these questions of why are we starting early today? Because the Commerce Secretary, a guy who is intimately integrated in the world of Trump and the tariffs and the trade war, is going to be speaking allegedly right now at 8:40. So I assume we're just waiting for the Mattel CEO to get kicked off, and then they're going to probably do a little bit of a commercial break and then bring Mr. Lutnick on. Mr. Lutnick, currently a cabinet member of the administration, the Commerce Secretary. Before this, he was running Cantor Fitzgerald. That was a Wall Street entity, among many other things, bringing companies to the public market. They've done that, like I said, among other things, but the reason I'm bringing it up is because it is actually the blank check company, the blank check organization, the SPAC deal that brought Rumble from the private market to the SPAC market to the actual public market. So a little bit near and dear to our heart. But once again, we are waiting for the Commerce Secretary to come on to CNBC, and he's going to have the skinny on the current tariff situation. And that's what's really the talk of the town today, because this tariff thing is what's driving the market lower. They're going into effect today on Mexico, Canada, China. I already have the news, and we're going to be going over all of that on the retaliation that we're already seeing out of Canada and China specifically, and it sounds like Mexico is going to be having their retaliation today, which is going to be interesting because we already know the rhetoric from the President of the United States is that with any retaliation, he's going to retaliate to the retaliation. So that's going to be interesting, and we know Trump is going to be speaking this evening, once again at 9 p.m. Eastern. So between now and then, there's a shot that he might be saying things, and maybe he's popping off on Truth Social. I don't know, but I know this is the day that you almost got to be glued to your seat, because you never know when there's going to be a massive piece of breaking news that could send the market sky high or really plunge it to the depths of hell. Obviously, I'll be giving you all the key levels, and we're going to be talking about the options market and then trades overnight and how people are positioning. It's going to be a crazy day. It's going to be an absolutely wild day. We're getting a little bit of a pop right now, but once again, the SPY and the Qs are just hugging their low from yesterday. Bitcoin barely hanging on. The VIX taking a little bit of a breather. This might just be a little bit of a pre-market setup, but I am waiting for the trading session today. We have so much to get into. This is going to be I can feel it deep in my core, you know? I can feel it deep, deep in my spiritual being that today is going to be a pretty awesome trading day. So as we're waiting for Mr. Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, to come on to CNBC and chat with us about tariffs and what in the world is happening, what in the world isn't happening. Trump's tariffs start global trade fight as China and Canada retaliate. Obviously, we're going to be going over that, but we are just waiting. Get this Mattel guy off. Come on. Howard was supposed to be speaking around 8:40. They're on like an awkward break, just showing us some dolls, I guess. I don't know what's going on. Joe was on his phone. Like he literally just stopped listening to the guy. But coming up right here, Howard Lutnick, the U.S. Secretary of Commerce. This is going to be important. I'm telling you folks this. What he does or doesn't say and how he responds to the questions specifically about the retaliation of China and Canada. We're expecting to hear from Mexico today. In pre-market, we're going to be seeing some moves, and really what it's going to be doing is setting up the general tune for the day. So like I said, I'm expecting to see a lot of red today. I'm expecting to see a lot of blood in the streets. So make sure you get on your red protective sunglasses today, because we're going to be seeing a lot of it. You either got to get on the right sunglasses, or your other option is to simply just change, I guess, the color of your candles or do whatever you want. But we're going to get, we're a little bit behind. We are waiting for the U.S. Secretary of Commerce to come on and tell us what in the world is going on with tariffs, the trade war, the retaliation. See if we could get some insights to his personal thoughts, to the administration's thoughts, to how he sees this playing out. Obviously, in the short term, it's creating quite a bit of volatility, which as a trader, we love. As an investor, you're probably not the biggest fan of it. So most of you watching right now probably have a trading account and an investing account. One's probably looking pretty good. One's probably looking pretty rough. Do what I do. And if you have a problem in your life, ignore it until it goes away. Just don't log into those accounts. I would say that's like the major tip from me on this one. Pardon me. As you guys are waiting, as we're waiting for Mr. Lutnick to come on, I would kindly ask all of you, if you haven't already, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and say hi to your neighbors in chat. All that type of engagement, not only does it make sure that you can know when we're having another show and breaking news and important updates, but all that type of engagement, it does help the internet overlord algorithms that run my life, and it gets this video in front of other people who might be interested. So I do kindly ask, take one quick second out of your day to like, to comment, to subscribe, to turn on your notifications. All that stuff is 100% free, and it really, really does help me. So if you like the effort of the entire Goonie team and all the things that go on behind the curtains that you guys really don't see that much, I do appreciate it. So, yep. Like, comment, subscribe, say hi. Truly appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And with that being said, we should be rocking pretty soon. Let me get the volume on here so we can all listen to it. This might be interesting. But as a quick snapshot before he starts talking, SPY just above 580, the Qs just above 494, Bitcoin just above 83,000, the VIX about 24.25. So that's kind of our snapshot before we get this commentary, but we're going to get rocking. Buckle up, Buttercup.
New U.S. tariffs are in effect today against Canada, Mexico, and China. Mexico's president speaking right now. She says they are responding with tariff and non-tariff measures that will be announced Sunday. She said it's not their plan to start a trade confrontation. But joining us now, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. About time you're back on here, Mr. Secretary. We hoped you get that. No, we didn't. But you were on quite a bit before it all became official. But hopefully this is the beginning of a lot of appearances, and you can come in studio as well. It's good to see you.
Great to see you.
I think of Cantor as more bond than stocks. If we were going to measure what's happening so far in the bond market, things are going swimmingly with the 10-year. I'm not so sure about the stock market at this point. How much do you expect as far as a reaction to some of this stuff? And what is the president's and your tolerance for a dislocation, if you will, in the stock market?
Well, remember, the current tariff policy is a drug-related policy. There's opioids pouring into this country. They're killing about 75,000 autopsied Americans a year. So imagine if you lost, or I lost one of my children, would the first thing I do is worry about an autopsy? So the president thinks there's multiples of that, people who've died, and there is no price for American death. So his view is we've got to protect American lives, and that's what these tariffs are about. So let's differentiate between today's tariffs, which are about saving Americans' lives. China makes the opioid products, and then Mexico and Canada feed them into America, and that's got to end. They've done a nice job on the border, but they haven't stopped the flow of fentanyl. And then if you want to talk about trade policy, that starts April 2nd, and that's a very, very clear reset that these countries have used us and abused us, and that is going to change. But that starts April 2nd, so let's keep the two separate, and I'm happy to talk about either way.
An ounce of fentanyl is bad, but it just sounds, when you talk about Canada, it sounds like an excuse, or at least people think it's an excuse. However, 43 pounds came across the Canadian border last year versus 21,148 pounds across from Mexico. So is it really fentanyl? I mean, I can give you, and you can confirm whether this is true. Is milk still 270%, cheese 249%,
yes.
Butter? Are all those still poultry, 238 egg? I mean, it's across the board. These are peanut butter. All this from Canada, 295%. Why use fentanyl that would mean that you could take the tariffs off if they did something with fentanyl and make no progress on all the tariffs, or on all the tariffs that are coming from Canada down here.
remember, the process in America for tariffs is that the president launched a study, and those are the rules of tariffs in America, and that study is finished on April 2nd. So on April 2nd, the president will have all the tools in his arsenal that he wants to do to reset tariffs. So he will be addressing all of those products in Canada. The fact that, you know, Canada has a national sales tax. Another way to say it is a national tariff on our products. And we sell, you know, they import from us very little, and we export, and they export to us huge amounts. So the idea is that's going to be reset, but that starts April 2nd. Now we just, you know, people say, oh, it's only a small amount of opioids. You know, they're only killing 75,000 Americans. You shouldn't worry about that. I mean, the president is not going to take that laying down. Okay, he's not. These things just have to end. And we need to see material reduction in autopsy deaths from opioid. And that's what the president is talking about. This is not a trade war. We are going to reset trade policy on April 2nd. You've got China's got huge tariffs on us, huge tariffs on everything with us. And Canada, you just talked about. Why do we produce cars in Canada? They've had an invitation, Canada and Mexico had an invitation to trade with the amazing economy of the United States of America, and they have abused that invitation, and the president's going to reset that, but that's April 2nd. That's not today. Today's opioids, April 2nd, I'll be here talking to you about how trade policy is going to change, and we're going to make it fair to Americans. I know people worry about short term, but we are going to bring jobs. You are never going to see the amount of production come back to America that Donald Trump's going to bring back to America. Trillions and trillions of dollars of production is going to come back to America, creating great jobs in America. And that's why the Americans elected Donald Trump, and he's going to deliver for them.
Secretary Lutnick, let's just focus on the ones for today that you're talking about, the ones that you say are related just to fentanyl, just because I guess we have a little more time to consider the others. Today, Brian Cornell told us earlier this morning on the show that shoppers at Target could very well see increases in the prices that they're paying for things like
they just reported their
vegetables. Because of the time of year. Right now, we rely on a lot of those imports coming in from Mexico. So if that goes up by 25% today, by the end of this week or early next week, shoppers at Target and other stores could see the increase immediately. On Best Buy, the conference call today, the CEO also said that those prices could go in fairly quickly, price increases could go in fairly quickly if these 25% tariffs kick in today. What does Canada need to do? What does Mexico need to do? They were able to push off these tariffs the last time around in the 11th hour. Is that possible to happen today? Is there anything they could do for the administration to say, okay, we won't put these tariffs on today, or at least we'll push it off and see what else happens?
Well, of course, if they can stop the flow of fentanyl and they can prove to the president they can stop the flow of fentanyl, then of course the president can remove these tariffs. But you've seen it. It has not been a statistically relevant reduction of deaths in America. It's just black and white. And we told them it was outcome-based. That I understand that Canada says, oh, it's only a small amount of fentanyl. You know, it can only kill 9 million Americans. It's not that much. Whereas, you know, the flow of fentanyl from Mexico could kill everybody in America. I mean, you got to be kidding me. It's got to stop, and it's got to stop really right away. And China's got to stop producing it. So I understand that there are threats. Hopefully Mexico will understand that this is not a trade war. Right? This is a drug war. Hopefully they understand that. We keep saying it again and again and again.
That doesn't necessarily make it true there.
We're going to have lots and lots of discussion on how to reset trade correctly. But that's April 2nd. I'm happy to talk about it now. But, you know, we expect, for example, on April 2nd, we want car manufacturing to come back to Michigan, to come back to Ohio. NAFTA gutted Michigan and gutted Ohio. And on April 2nd, in that time, we're going to try to start bringing cars back. We're going to bring back those great jobs. We're going to bring back production of enormous amounts of things and make America a manufacturing center again. So, yes, there's going to be, as the president said on the campaign trail, there may well be short-term price movements, but In the long term,
Hell yeah.
it's going to be
Send it
completely
down. Let's
different.
make money.
This is going to be the greatest America. We'll have a balanced budget. A balanced budget. Interest rates will come smashing down. And I mean 100 basis points, 150 basis points lower. You're going to have income taxes, no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. This president is going to deliver all of those things and drive manufacturing here. And these things are important.
The Journal, they don't like tariffs, and they've been, sometimes they're nice to, or positive about some of the moves with President Trump, but sometimes negative. They've never liked the tariffs. They got a piece today, cross-border, some parts and cars go back and forth 8 times across the border. They're going to be taxed every time or tariffed every time. There's an estimate, Anderson Economic Group, that 25% tariff will raise the cost of a full-size SUV assembled in North America by $9,000, a pickup truck by $8,000. You wouldn't want to have that on very long, would you?
Can I ask you a question? Why do cars that are sold in America get made in Canada and Mexico as opposed to being made here? Seriously,
Part of it
if
is
you
the
want to have
USMCA,
a trade conversation, why shouldn't American
You can't
jobs
just wave a
be
magic
here?
wand and move everything immediately. This is going to take time.
A big part of this was because of what was negotiated under the last Trump administration with the new NAFTA, USMCA.
And USMCA, the president has been crystal clear that he thinks that Michigan and Ohio, the communities of Michigan and Ohio, they've been ravaged by these ideas. And the concept is let's bring that production back. I've spoken to the car manufacturers. They have ample excess capacity in America, and they can move that production back. I agree with you. They can't do it in 3 months, but they can do it in 6 months. And you're going to see jobs created in America, cars in America. You build it here, you don't pay any tariff. And that starts on April 2nd. But today, we've got to save lives. But on April 2nd, I think you're going to see a reordering and a negotiating with our trading partners and trying to make the world fair and reciprocal. You guys have no idea how bad the deals are that America suffers with. Everybody charges. Like you just said, imagine dairy is 250% in Canada. You guys don't think about that stuff, but it's unbelievable the way we get ripped off around the world. And Donald Trump's going to level set it, make it reciprocal, and make it fair. But you can't kill Americans and get away with it. You just can't.
We do want to reward friends, and I don't know whether you say punish our enemies, but what is China? Are they friends? Are they enemies?
China's a country,
security
Joe.
risk? Are they the biggest, second biggest economy on the planet? It's symbiotic.
It's
Howard,
a
how far
country.
do we want to push that, and how bad? I mean, how much pain are we going to be willing to take in inflation if all of a sudden they hit us right back?
Remember, so you made one comment. So inflation comes from a government printing more money. Some prices
You don't
can
think it
rise.
can come from
This
tariffs?
bottle of water.
It can't happen at all
No,
from tariffs?
tariffs do not create inflation.
That's not
Printing
true.
money creates inflation. You have a balanced budget. There
I like
can't
them,
be inflation.
but that's
it doesn't
not
mean
true.
one product could be more expensive and one product could be less expensive. But China, I'll give you an example. China has the highest tariffs in the world. In the world. Everything gets tariffed in China, and they don't have inflation. In fact, they have deflation. India, the second highest tariffs in the world, they don't have inflation. So this concept is just people whining and complaining and not being truthful. The fact is, we need to protect America. Why does China tariff everything, and we give them a free ride back here? And they subsidize the opioid production. They subsidize opioid production.
Can I just ask you very quickly, the American Automotive Policy Council president just put out a statement on the tariffs. He said, we continue to believe that vehicles and parts that meet the USMCA's stringent domestic and regional content requirements should be exempt from the tariff increase. Our American automakers who invested billions in the U.S. to meet these requirements should not have their competitiveness undermined by tariffs that will raise the cost of building vehicles. Is there a chance that they would get an exemption?
Well, look, that is a discussion. The president's always thought about that, right? About USMCA. But this is, remember, the problem is this is an opioid-related tactic today. We need to have opioids stop flowing into the country. On April 2nd, we're going to re-examine trade policy, but that comes April 2nd, and we understand that there are production in Mexico and Canada. But let me ask you a question. Why don't you go ask those auto manufacturers what percentage of their parts are made in America? And it would shock you in a negative way to say that many of the cars that they think produced under USMCA have less than 10% American parts. Less than 10%.
All right.
We've got to bring this stuff to America. It's got to be produced in America.
Mr. Secretary, will to be continued, hopefully. We've got 4 seconds left. Thanks for coming on today. We appreciate it. Hope to see you again soon.
That does it for us today. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye. See you tomorrow, Becky. All right. How did that impact things? Slightly down. SPY slightly down. Actually, the Q's slightly up, pretty much at where they were. So not the most impactful, but in terms of like the immediate pre-market reaction, but insightful on some of the things going down. Folks, if you're just joining in right now, the tariff talk, the trade war, which is once again being framed as a drug war, is the talk of the town. Stock futures are under pressure again as Trump's tariffs spark retaliation. Pro-Trump techies enraged by President's crypto reserve announcement causing early rifts. So before we get into the tariff talk, there is other major things going on in the world of just Trump and the geopolitical scene that I want to talk about and I want to get your thoughts on, because by the time the market opens, it's going to be all just directly back to tariffs and the market. So in terms of other things that are important, but maybe not as important as tariffs, I want to get all of your thoughts on this. So we all know Sunday morning, Trump announced, hey, we're creating a strategic crypto reserve that will include Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, ADA, and Sol. What are your thoughts on it? Do you think that, include all 5 of those? Do you like a portion of them? Do you think they should include all crypto? I think the list is really weird. I do. I honestly do not understand some of these ones that directly relate to a private business. The ones that directly relate to a private business, I'm going to be honest, it really just has the sense that someone in the administration was directly paid off to be putting it into the reserve, which I think is kind of messed up. But I also understand that's the world we live in. I know that there's people getting paid off all the time to make these types of decisions. And I get it. It's disgusting, but I also get that's how the world is. It does not make sense to me whatsoever of the list that's currently in there. And then there's a little bit of talk of including some more. And my real problem is the ones that directly relate to a for-profit business. It seems like this is literally just picking some winners and then they get to become very, very, very wealthy. So I'm not a fan of it. That's my own thoughts and opinions. I can understand why this is going to make some people mad, because the techies who are enraged, they understand that. They obviously understand that. And we all know that only some of them, most likely, I can't say this definitively, but no person understanding the cryptosphere right now would say, yeah, that's what should be in the reserve. It's one thing if you want to make laws and regulations that support those cryptos, all of crypto, but to put them in the reserve, it just does not make sense. It really does not make sense. President Trump's plan for a strategic crypto reserve consisting of multiple digital currencies was met with a hefty dose of criticism from many of his supporters regarding the currencies other than Bitcoin. The Trump mentioned Tyler Winklevoss of really Gemini, but the Winklevoss twins, they had the story with Zuckerberg and the social network and Facebook. I do not think they are suitable for a strategic reserve. The announcement is creating a rift in a community that Trump relied upon in the 2024 campaign. I think this is 100% right. Seriously, I don't want, this isn't rhetorical. Maybe I'm off base on this one. Maybe I'm missing the mark on this particular one, but I have to say with this, I really do much more agree with Tyler Winklevoss. And I guess to expand on my reasoning, it just has to do with why are we putting things in the reserve that are directly just a private business? And we're just making individual business equity holders rich for seemingly no reason. If this really has kind of that dirty vibe of someone getting paid off to be able to just be in there. It sounds like, hey, we'll make a donation to you directly right now or something like that. And then this ends up getting included. I don't like it. I really, really, really don't like it. So I want to get your thoughts. First of all, do you think we should have a strategic crypto reserve at all? And if we do you think it's appropriate for the 5 to be included that are currently being included? What do we have here? But it's capped at 100 bill. BTC is a fixed supply, not XRP. It should really only be BTC, XRP, and ADA, both working with the U.S. government already. But that doesn't mean it should be in the reserve. That's a side point. Like, why does working with the government mean that they should be in the strategic crypto reserve? Sol is added. I don't know. It's a bit weird. We know David Sachs is deeply tied with the start of Solana, and now he's the crypto czar. Like, there's weird things going on here. It really is. Just BTC. It should only be Doge. I could get behind that. Exclusively Doge. No way are you going to put coins in that are not American. No way. But once again, why should they be in the reserve? We should, not XRP, need Doge, market like anyway, rather than the government of the crypto. Just BTC, agreed, Mike. He's just pumping crypto in general. No, because he specifically he picked 5. It's not just crypto in general. He named 5. That's not crypto in general. Just BTC, ETH, and Sol. But even remember that ETH and Sol are kind of their own technology platform. Other things are being built on top of it. Like, I think, I know they're all cryptos, but when you really get down to it at the core of what they are, you're not really building stuff on top of BTC. BTC is a currency, and it is not a for-profit business. Unicorn fart dust was omitted. Why? That's a very fair question. That's what we need to get to the bottom of. Okay, I just wanted to get your thoughts because obviously this was big news as of Sunday. The market had a nice gap up when we opened up the session yesterday, especially in crypto. And then by the time the market closed, we saw coin and MSTR and really all of crypto getting absolutely demolished. Negotiations to avert a shutdown sputter as disputes over Doge cuts persist. So in all of this craziness of crypto and tariffs and the trade war, we are also talking about a government shutdown. So I just want you guys to not forget about this particular narrative because it is adding to the uncertainty of the overall situation. And now let's get to the belle of the ball. Other drama. U.S. pauses all military aid to Ukraine. Move comes days after the contentious meeting between Trump and Zelensky. So this all kind of went haywire on Friday. This is the first domino that fell to the current chapter of craziness. So Friday afternoon, if you guys were like me, you were listening to the conversation, the awkward bickering between Trump, JD Vance, and Zelensky, and it all concluded the market was going down, 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 down. And then on the announcement that Zelensky got kicked out, we had a crazy push on Friday. Now, this is very important. It's a little bit technical, but it does explain what's going on. On Friday, this is why you have to pay attention to options. And I know it's a bit technical, but let me try to boil it down that anyone can understand what's going on. Remember, when you're talking about gamma, the gamma of the options market, GAMMA, it has a lot to do with, are market makers going to be mean reverting or are they going to be trend following? So for example, if there's a lot of people buying calls and we're all just buying calls, this is exactly what happened with AMC. So let's just use a real life example to explain this. Many people, millions of people were just YOLOing in to far out of the money calls. So what that does is the market makers have to sell the calls. Remember, options markets are different than equity markets because it's a single dealer market. When you play options, you're playing against the house. When you are playing stocks, it's more of poker. You're playing kind of the house and also other people at the table. That's not true with options. With options, it's always you versus the house. It's a lot more similar to blackjack than it is poker. But anyway, when everyone's buying calls, the market makers are selling calls. That increases the risk of the market makers if the market starts to go up. So how do they hedge that risk? As they are selling calls based on the delta, as the delta is rising, they're going to buy more shares from the open market, so they're not on the hook. They're hedging their book. So once again, you have a lot of people buying calls on AMC. As AMC goes up, the delta is increasing, and based on the overall book delta value, they're going to buy shares from the overall market. This is a positive gamma environment because really the market makers wrote so much premium. They sold so many calls because the public, you, me, and everyone else bought so many calls. So as that goes up, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it's also referred to as a gamma squeeze, because as it goes up, the market makers have to buy more shares to hedge more of their book, which pushes it higher, which gets people to YOLO into more calls, which makes that they have to hedge more, so they buy more, and it keeps going. So that's in this environment, that's going to be the interaction between, the retail side has positive gamma, which means that the books have negative gamma. So it kind of depends on the perspective that you need to know. So it depends like whose vantage point you're talking from. So from the retail side, we all had positive gamma. From the seller side, the market maker side, they have a negative gamma. But what this means is as things trend in whatever direction, it could also happen with puts to the south side, it just gets more extreme. That's a trend following thing. Now, obviously, the opposite could also be true. Now, let's say for whatever reason, market makers are, or let's say the trading public for whatever reason, they're like, hey, we don't think that the SPY is going to go much above whatever value, so they sell a bunch of calls there. Well, from this perspective, this is now positive gamma. So as we go up to that level, instead of market makers hedging their book in an attempt to we got to hedge and buy and buy and buy, and it keeps pushing it, it's actually the opposite. They're going to take some sort of net short position. So that's more of a mean reverting environment. So it really depends on who has positive gamma, who has negative gamma, and what perspective you're looking on. But what happened on Friday with respect to this gamma thing was the market makers had negative gamma and also negative delta. As in, when we were going up, they were forced into hedging their position by buying more and more and more. And what you saw was, people were YOLOing into calls. They were also getting out of their puts. So the delta was really, really ripping. But to hedge out their books, it became that giant feedback loop of just going and going and going. But what's interesting is when you see a negative gamma, negative delta rally like that off of, really, it happened right after Zelensky got kicked out. That is a telltale sign of a bear market rally. That environment, not always, but a high percentage of the time, a negative gamma, negative delta, random late day, or really any of the day, but you commonly see them in late day. When you see those rips out of nowhere, that environment is most likely found in a bear market situation. So when we saw this, everyone just saw it go up. And I have to admit, I was thinking it was as crazy as the next person, but that shows how wild, especially the 0DT market can get, especially in higher volatility situations. But it's also what told us that on Monday morning to not chase it. You do not want to be a person chasing bear market rallies because of the first part of that word. We're in the bear market, as in those pushes, even though that they could be vicious, they usually don't last. And by the time the market opened on Monday, 5 minutes into the day, if you were watching the stream yesterday, I was telling everyone, do not chase it. Things are a little bit suspect. I called it out before the market opened. And guess what? Not only did we push back down, but we pushed back down even farther than I thought we would, because everyone's just like, oh, we got a little bit of a profit in the short term. People use that as an opportunity to get out, thinking that there was more things coming down the pipeline. And guess what? Maybe people were in the know. Maybe people weren't in the know. But all this tariff talk is not only getting renewed, but it's actually getting worse than we anticipated, leading us to where we are right now. Oh, by the way, side note, Putin agrees to help Trump broker nuclear talks with Iran. So this is still kind of with the whole Zelensky thing, and we're not funding them anymore. And I know many of you in here, you have your thoughts one way or another. Kind of a wild thing that I guess Putin is going to be the intermediary. So just wanted to share that. But now let's actually get to the real bell of the ball that's going to be directly impacting our active trading today. Trump tariffs on Canada and Mexico will take effect with added duties on China. Beijing hits back with retaliatory tariffs and other measures after the U.S. imposes an additional 10% on duties. And everyone is already clapping back. Mexico president says retaliatory tariffs are coming Sunday as Trump starts global trade fight. This will be there's two different aspects to it, but basically everyone's attempting to clap back right now, and I don't think it's going to go so well for them. Trump escalates global trade war, sparking a tit-for-tat tariff. And these are all the major details. President Donald Trump delivered on his threat to hit Canada and Mexico with sweeping import levies and doubled an existing charge on China, spurring swift reprisals and plunged the world economy into a deepening trade war. We did get some clarity from the U.S. Secretary of Commerce, Mr. Howard Lutnick, this morning. He was just on Squawk Box. If you want to listen to what he said, just rewind this stream a little bit. But the TLDR is same thing to his economic advisor, whose name is escaping me. We heard this weeks ago. The administration is not painting this as a trade war. I know I am. I know all of media is. I know we all are talking about the trade war, but they refuse to call it a trade war. It's not a trade war. They are using tariffs as a tool to fight what they're referring to as a drug war. And a lot of the rhetoric right now, it relates to the discussion of fentanyl and its creation in China and it coming into the U.S. via our neighbors up north, Canada, and our neighbors down south, Mexico. And as Lutnick was discussing, they want to see a measurable drop in deaths related to fentanyl. That is their overall goal. And the fact that we have not seen that from a quantitative standpoint is exactly why we are once again using tariffs to now fight this trade war or drug war. But the trade war still might be a very real thing because don't forget, not only mid this month, but also at the start of next month, early April, that's when reciprocal tariffs start to hit, as in basically any country on this planet who's hitting us with tariffs. Trump is going to say, okay, hit us with tariffs. We're going to do the exact same thing back to you. So that's where the world of reciprocal tariffs gets started. So right now, these tariffs are for the drug war, but the upcoming tariffs are going to be reciprocal tariffs, obviously mirroring whatever is imposed upon us. The U.S. new tariffs, 25% duties on most Canadian and Mexican imports and raising the charge on China to 20% apply to roughly 1.5 trillion, that's with a T, in annual imports, an expansive move signaling to the markets that the Republican president is committed to inflicting economic pain to generate fresh revenue and create domestic manufacturing jobs. I do have more on this in a second, but he's kind of already getting what he wants. I mean, we have Apple saying that they're going to develop more here. We have TSMC, they're going to develop more here. We already have the previous project Stargate project with OpenAI and SoftBank and Microsoft, and they're going to develop more here. They're already kind of bending the knee. Canada hit back with phased levies on $107 billion worth of U.S. goods, while China imposed tariffs of as high as 15%, mainly on American agricultural shipments, which if you look at the total value of this, it's nothing. China has to hit back just to save face. But in terms of the pure dollar value, this is effectively them doing nothing. I want to be very clear. If you look at these tariffs on the American agricultural shipments, it's a small number. It truly is a small number relative to everything going on right now. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum on Monday said her government would await Trump's decision before reacting with any retaliatory measures and is expected to address the reports Tuesday morning. She's already done that. And I don't want to give anyone a spoiler alert, but Mexico will be giving us the exact details of how they're retaliating this Sunday. So this upcoming Sunday is when we're going to hear from Mexico, which is interesting because at least from the particular narrative of just the U.S.-Mexico situation, this is going to be running rampant today, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We're not hearing anything of the clackback until Sunday, which maybe that's a bad thing because maybe on Sunday they're like, dude, you guys like avocados? Because you ain't getting shit anymore. Go fuck yourself. Obviously, that might happen. Or maybe they're going to use the time to come to some sort of agreement. And the Sunday announcement might be something along the lines of, I spoke with President Trump. We've come to an agreement. No more tariffs. Viva la Mexico. Could also happen. So that one's going to be kind of interesting. We just, all we have right now is the announcement that she's going to be talking on Sunday. So I don't want to necessarily pass any judgment. Okay, anyway, more to come. So this is all about the whole trade war stuff, but remember the reciprocal stuff is coming down the pike as well. And Trump has indicated more tariffs are to come, including April reciprocal tariffs on all U.S. trading partners that have their own levies or other barriers on American products, as well as sectoral taxes of 25% on cars, semiconductors, and pharmaceuticals, three very big industries. Those tariffs are also poised to be cumulative in addition to any cross-the-border tariff on a particular nation. That sentence right there is brutal, as in we're already doing what we're doing. They're going to add on the reciprocal. So the reciprocal isn't just mirroring what is coming against us. If there's already tariffs that he's imposed, he's going to be adding the reciprocal on top of it, which if this goes through by Q3, Q4, Canada, Mexico, and China will 100% be in a recession. And you could fairly say we'll probably also be in a recession. But for sure, this is a basic math problem, like a really basic math problem. But probably by Q3, Canada, Mexico, and China will be in a recession. And most likely by Q4, we'll be in a recession. Like, it's brutal. Trump has also said a 25% tariff is in the works for the EU and is investigating levies on copper and lumber imports. Steel and aluminum tariffs are also set to take effect on March 12th, further impacting Canada and Mexico. So you have a lot moving right now. So obviously things are underway right now between Canada, Mexico, and China. We already covered that. We know this Sunday, Mexico might be clapping back. We know on March 12th, there's going to be more tariffs, once again, for steel and aluminum. And then in early April, we have the reciprocal tariffs that are going to be additive on top of the tariffs that already exist. There's a lot going on. That's the skinny of the situation. But golly, ideally, we're going to get more insights and more clarity tonight. Trump national address to test economic message amid price fears at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight. Trump will be giving a public speech, a public conference, and it's going to relate to Congress, the economy, and taxes, and all that good jazz. 9 p.m. tonight. I might stream it. I might not. I don't know. It depends on how my day goes. If I crush it today, if I make a lot of money, if I feel good about life, I'll probably have the energy that carries me through to stream this. If I, however, get crushed by the market and I'm a negative Nancy and I'm a pissed off Pete, no, I'll probably just go to bed and wait for the next day. So turn on your notifications. I hope I have a good day, because if I do stream this means I crush it in the market. But I just want to call that out. 9 p.m. Eastern tonight. So we're going to be getting more clarity then. In the meantime, there is a little bit of history to pay attention to. Trump tariffs in 2018. Right here, you can see all the announcements and what happened with Bitcoin. This is once again a Bitcoin chart. So Bitcoin kind of getting rocked at that point from about 15,000 all the way down to 3.5. Inflation went up from 2.4 to 3%, and the GDP went from 3 down to 2.1. So all a trend you really don't want to be seeing. Obviously, a risk-on sector getting hit. You have inflation popping, and you have the GDP sinking. I understand that there's many people trying to tell you right now that tariffs don't have an impact on inflation, but please also understand that the people who are saying that are directly related to the administration. If you look at the history of tariffs and what's going on, or even if you look at your favorite AI models, you're going to see, yes, tariffs can contribute to inflation. Tariffs can contribute to inflation, but the relationship isn't a straight line. It is a very difficult argument to say that tariffs have no impact on inflation whatsoever. If you're taking that stance, the history just doesn't really agree with you. You might be able to argue it's valid of how much they impact inflation, but to say that tariffs have no impact on inflation whatsoever, it's just not true. The argument, seriously, crack open a book, look at the history of tariffs, understand the math of tariffs, understand what it does for imports and exports, understand what it does to supply. We know demand's already kind of getting crushed a little bit right now. It's a tough argument. It really, honestly, to be completely frank, the argument doesn't exist. The only real argument is how much it's going to impact inflation. You might be able to find historic moments where it was only minimally impactful, and there's other examples of massively impactful. The question here is not, do tariffs have an impact on inflation? That's pretty fucking definitive. The question is, how much are they going to impact inflation? And then also from there, the secondary question would be for how long? That is the useful, intellectually honest conversation to have. But if you're in here right now and just saying, nope, no impact whatsoever because I've been told that by mainstream media, that's just not, it's just simply not true. Okay, with respect to today, the major thing you need to know is no macro announcements, but yes, Trump speaking at 21 o'clock, 9 p.m. Eastern, so put that in your calendar if you need it. We're also in earnings season, but more important than that is we got some useful conversation from the CEOs. So Target and Best Buy reported this morning. CrowdStrike will be reporting after the market closes today, and then the other ones to pay attention to for this week are Broadcom and Costco, so definitely put those on your radar. Target warns February sales were soft, adding to concerns about consumer health. We also know we have a softening labor market. That's not so good. Trump's Mexico tariffs could raise produce prices in the next few days, according to the Target CEO. So obviously with the earnings, asked about tariffs, commenting on tariffs, that's not so good. Best Buy went the same route. Best Buy CEO warns price increases are highly likely after the Trump tariff. So another piece of news that, yeah, prices go up. I do want to remind you that amongst all this other craziness, I kind of see what's going on here. In my opinion, this might be one of those situations where we're taking a little bit of short-term pain for long-term success, like kind of like a bow and arrow. We're getting pulled back a little bit right now to be, like dramatically shoot forward in the future. So right now, with all of this, the entire goal, and I see this on lamestream media, is Trump's stance on protectionism. And it's this idea that maybe the U.S. should be a little bit more self-sufficient. Maybe a little bit more should be done internally. So to make a couple omelets, yeah, you got to crack a few eggs. And we're kind of seeing the results of this already. Trump announces a $100 billion investment in the U.S. from TSMC, calls it the most powerful company in the world. It's going to be very beneficial to the state of Arizona. That's where they already had some money, but they're upping it and they're going to do more manufacturing there. Even listening to Mr. Lutnick this morning, it's all about, they were asking him, hey, this is going to jack up the price of cars. Okay, it might. So how are companies going to respond? In the short term, yes, prices are going up. That's fucking life. But look at how it's going to end up playing out. That's going to bring a lot more manufacturing back to the U.S. Clearly, this is going to create many, many jobs. And especially if in this world of AI, this could be good jobs. This isn't just like your hourly wage at whatever store. This is higher quality jobs. So all of a sudden, if we're bringing these companies into the U.S., first of all, these companies are going to pay more tariffs, or excuse me, more taxes in the U.S. It's going to be creating more jobs, could very easily revitalize certain areas. So I guess you have to look at this in two different situations. I don't like how the administration is currently spinning this as, nope, it's going to have no impact on inflation. And in the short term, there might be some craziness, but we don't expect anything. Just be honest. We know in the short term, this is going to be pretty painful. But if executed properly, this could be that longer term play. So I think it's kind of interesting where I know they can't come on TV. If you're being honest, they can't come on TV and say, hey, we know that we're going to be fucking some things up in the short term. Like, you just can't, you can't do that. Obviously, you cannot do that. But knowing that they can't do that, like, that's where I disagree with them. But this concept of, okay, we are going to financially incentivize, we're going to financially force a lot more creation and jobs here in the US. I'm a fan of it because for my young adult life, I know I have this beard that makes me look like old man time, but for my young adult life, I don't understand why the U.S. is so integrated with everyone else when we have our own problems at home. Let's clean up our own home. We have our own problems. Things could dramatically be improved on many different levels. And this is that painful step to kind of break the current system, getting into it. Now, obviously, I am hopeful that it is successfully executed. I don't know if they will be able to. Obviously, fingers crossed, because why would I not be rooting for the success of my own country, for all my neighbors? Obviously, you'd be kind of a crazy person to be like, yeah, no, I hope this fails, because we're already at the painful part. We're already here. We're already suffering the pain. So I hope the pain in the short term is worth it for all of that long-term success. But obviously the fact that I'm talking about TSMC, remember, NVIDIA's unofficial exports to China face scrutiny after arrest of silicon smugglers in Singapore. So we got some crazy stuff there with DeepSeek, and were they buying NVIDIA stuff? And it was kind of a well-known secret that they were. And we saw that the sales to Singapore started to skyrocket, even though no one in Singapore was really using it. It was this whole thing. But NVIDIA under a little bit extra pressure, especially because it's in the crosshairs of the fact that it is directly tied to selling to China. In the world of direct trading, is anyone else surprised that Weeble's taken no heat from the current administration. Like, the administration right now clearly has a tune of, hey, if it's run by a Chinese-owned company, we're going to be pulling back from it. No talks on Moomoo, no talks on Weeble. I think that if you went to the Weeble or the Moomoo offices right now, they're probably every single day just hoping that Trump doesn't like hear their name or like somehow doesn't get presented to him. I bet, like, right? Like, they have to be kind of just sitting there, be like, yep, just don't say anything. Don't say anything. Because, like, he's going through targeting all of these companies not owned by a larger U.S. conglomerate. That is Weeble. That is Moomoo. They are owned by a Chinese company. I bet day in and day out, they're like, what can we do to just not fucking piss anyone off? Wait, what about Moomoo? Moomoo is a Chinese company. You didn't know that, Cold Stowing? They're both a Chinese company. I bet they're sitting there and be like, dude, just don't bring our name up. Don't bring our name up. They're not, NVIDIA is not the only company getting crushed right now. Tesla's worst month since 2022 coincided with Elon Musk's first month in the White House. Yeah, it did. But also, to be fair, the tariff situation is very brutal on automakers, and Tesla's the world's #1 automaker. So when tariffs get jacked up, of course, it's going to be hitting old Tesla. Now, before the market opens, I do want to tell you, don't forget to sign up for the newsletter. Don't forget to sign up for the Discord, all that good jazz. Remember, you can get in for free. You heard me right. The 4 letters, FREE. Use that promo code Goonie, and your first month is free. Now, you might look at this, as I said in the update video last night, it's not the most impressive. I'm happy with $540, but obviously you guys have seen me make more money. But my reason for that is in the daily DGen report, I report on sold premium positions, as in I create the position by selling it, as in selling premium. That's what Piper does. But in a rising volatility environment, I find it much better to be, hang on, it's having an issue loading over here. The market just opened. Oh, shoot. We can't see it. You can't see all the fancy numbers. All right. I'm going to come back to that. But you're going to see that I'm up about $100,000 from buying premium, because that's what you do when the volatility is expanding. So once again, if you are interested in this, that's the Discord. That's where you can get all of my trades in real time. MattKohrs.locals.com, pinned to the top of chat, in the description of the video. Your first month is free. I'm putting my money where my mouth is by saying, hey, you get full access to everything for a month. If you like it, great. Stick around. I think I will 100% be able to help you to get way more value than the $60. And I was going to try to prove it to you, but you could see my account is almost at 200K, which means it is absolutely ripping. So we'll come back to that. And even as a freebie, even if you don't want to be a supporter, if you just want to be a member, there is a free weekly newsletter that I break down all the information for you. And on that note, I am a little bit behind, but anyway, dingity ding ding ding. The world's largest casino is now open. Best of luck to all. Play responsibly, and if not, have fun. All right, the fact that we've already taken out yesterday's low means that there's a 77% chance that we will be closing below 583.77 today. Is that a guarantee? Absolutely not. But there's a 3 in 4 chance. There's a 4 in 5 chance that we will be closing somewhere below 583.77. It might be by a cent, it might be by $1, but there's a 4 in 5 chance, 77% chance that we will be closing below 583.77 and also simultaneously 497.05. So I just wanted to share that. I should also give you my key levels, as I always do. These are the key option levels of the day. Dude, I need to take this off. I cannot see the colors. These red sunglasses, they make it hard to see all my individual colors. 5,800 key technical level, key psychological level. This is the major options level of the day. If this does not hold, I'm predicting a very quick vomit down to 5777.5. How did I get that number? Well, because of right here, that is where Captain Condor is playing today. Captain Condor is selling calls, selling puts, and obviously we are closer to these puts at 5780 with a protective leg at 5775, which is exactly how I was able to call this out. This is my first bearish target of the day. If this does not hold, and most likely we're going to get a little bit of a bounce off of it. I mean, this is a large position right here. That is almost 13,000 contracts. So the first major level of support, and this is, remember, we live in the world of the if-then statements. You should always have a bull case. You should always have a bear case. Right now in real time, the bear case seems to be breaking down. So the fact that this support is not holding, I am then looking 577.5 right here. We might bounce off of it. If we do, I'd be looking for 5,800. If we break down, I'd be then looking for 5,750, and this would be my second major bearish target of the day. So all the way down here. These are not just numbers I'm randomly coming up with. It all has to do with the options positioning and the options flow. So let me show you that right here. You can see there's a lot of open interest. This is that 5775. This is the Captain Condor. These giant spikes are the Captain Condor. Obviously, the call side and the put side, you need both to have an iron condor position. In terms of the open interest change, it does jump out to me that people are starting to target the 5750s for puts. If you look at the volume, a lot of action down at the 5730, so definitely watch that. And then also, with respect to the buys minus the sales, you see Captain Condor a little bit, 5730s jumping out to me again. If we somehow revert, 5920s kind of jumping out to me. So this is how I came up with all the levels, not only from seeing that, but also seeing the structure. Hang on, let me zoom out so you guys can see it. Mag 7 already getting hit out of the gate. And then right here, you can see the S&P 500 actually choppy sideways right out of the gate. But anyway, that's how I came up with these levels. Feel free to screenshot that. I mean, they've been spot on. Feel free to do whatever you want. Yes, there is an upside gap fill to 5811. We could easily hit that today. In fact, there's high odds of it. But the major odd things I want to tell you about right now is the fact that, once again, we have a 77% chance of closing today below 583.77. It might be by a cent. It might be by multiple dollars. Same thing with the Qs. We have about an 80% chance of closing today below 497.05. So do with that information what you want. It's not really the best for a linear play, but it is actually going to be somewhat useful for more like a selling premium, like a call selling position. Or if we bounce all the way up there, maybe you then want to play a linear position. I do want to point out to you that vol is picking up pretty aggressively, which is making this recovery less likely. But more important than that is we have to watch this options flow. I'm seeing the SPY show a little bit of life, but I'm not basing anything myself, especially in environments like this, on the first 5 minutes worth of data. You guys saw my day yesterday. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst. I ended up making money, but it was a bit rough. I was a bit early to the show. Tesla's getting clocked right now. Watch the VIX for taking out 25. That could get a little bit saucy. It could definitely get a lot of it saucy, actually. All right, I'm seeing a lot of red. The only green thing I see is vol, so we're kind of opening up in a bit of a bearish sense. Obviously, let me switch this up so you guys can see. I haven't traded anything yet right here. Here's proof, no positions quite yet, but I am waiting for ideally that perfect opportunity to strike. Unlike yesterday, I was a little bit early and then I was over trading. I am 100% trying to not do that today and just stick to exactly the plan that I know. Adventure Joe gifted 1 membership out. Shout out. Adventure Joe, truly appreciated it. It looks like Ant-Man was the lucky recipient of the new membership. So shout out to Ant-Man, shout out to Adventure Joe. I hope you guys are absolutely crushing it. All right, we are at that low value. Oh, I have a couple swing positions I need to manage, and I don't know what I want to do. Which probably means just chill for a second. It probably means just chill for 1 quick second. I mean, hell, we are only, 7 minutes into the day? All right, we are below. All right, let's do our normal check. So 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour bearish, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour bearish. But I do want to note that the 5 minute on NQ might be testing bullish. If we look at the flow, the Mag 7 puked and pounced back. If we look at the NASDAQ sideways, just took a big hit at 936. And if we look at the S&P 500, slowly but surely climbing to the upside. So a little bit of a mixed bag situation of which way we are trending. So when I see this choppiness, when I'm not seeing that nice flow, you just got to wait. Obviously with it, the 5, the 10, and the 30 are bearish. I'm watching the 5 here to see if this gets rejected. Obviously a big reversal, especially if you're trading prop accounts. Look for it to come back below 20,300, which is actually 100 points away. That's fucking insane. But look for this reversal because that would be a clear breakout failure. And it would most likely be associated with the options market just dumping. So I'm going to be looking for that. But I feel no pressure to be ripping trades right now just because the past couple trading days and weeks have told us that there's so much movement, there's so much volatility that it's more beneficial from not only a reward perspective, but also from a risk perspective to just wait for that perfect opportunity. So here's where we're at in terms of these levels. We tried to open up right at 5,800. It failed. We bounced it. Remember, opening morning volatility, you get a little bit crazier. I do want to point out that if we were at this low of 58.11, by the time we hit that, the next level is 58.30. And then from there, we have the upside gap fill at 58.49, which is pretty much 58.50. But once again, all the yellow / golden lines are the key option levels of the day. And since we're on the south side of it, I'd be looking for these levels to act as resistance. So we are just dancing around 5,800. Like I said, the first support, this is going to be really, this was bearish target number 1. We just happened to open there. So let's just say that's our neutral level. So this is bearish target number 1, 5,777, and bearish target number 2 is 5,750. And then on the flip side of that, if you're feeling a little bit more bullish today, bullish target number 1 is 5,830, bullish target number 2 is 5,850. But with all that, I care a lot more about the options flow today than I normally do, because that is going to be the telltale sign of which side of the trade to be on. The SPY pushed up to its low value from yesterday. The Qs pushed up to the low value from yesterday. Let me do a sanity check. What am I doing with my life? We really haven't had that nice impulse I was telling you guys about. The Qs did. The Qs clearly had the impulse to the upside. But what I'm watching is this 5-minute going to fail? I'm telling you, if we recrack 20,300, I think we might be puking. Oh, that's all bearish. What is the flow here? The Mag 7 taking a hit. The SPY, not so much. What is this? This is the 932 low. A little bit of a trend line bounce right there. Potential VWAP rejection. We sold for the first 3 minutes. Then we ran all the way up to VWAP. We overshot this trend line for a little bit right here. And now I'm curious, is this the point that it gets cracked? Is this the point that it gets cracked? Yes, no, maybe so.
Order submitted.
Fuck. I need to do 2 separate orders today.
Order filled.
Nope. I did that one completely wrong. Fuck. 65. All right.
Order submitted.
So I'm trading my accounts in 2 different chunks today just because some are Apex and some are take profit. So I need to manage these separately. All right. We're going to see how this goes. We're going to see if this trend line breakdown was in fact the trade of the day. Let's do a sanity check. These are the things I do with every single one of my trades. So what I'm seeing here is the 0 DTE started to take a hit. So yeah, it was a bit bullish, started to get cracked at 38. So maybe, obviously potential rejection at the low value from yesterday could be a key level. Tesla coin taking a hit, 5-minute, 10-minute, 30-minute, 4-hour bearish, 5-minute, 10-minute, 30-minute, 4-hour bearish. We know that maybe got hit there. Maybe there's support at 5,800. That's the dangerous thing about this play is will support come in at 5,800? We could see this in a little bit more of a fine tune here, like we're right at that key level. Obviously, if we push, we're then watching the intraday low. Looking at the flow, I see the Mag 7 starting to get hit. I saw that strength up until about 538. That's where it started. I was waiting for. What I do want to point out is that the S&P 500 complex, the all expiration and the 0 DT are behaving very differently today. You're seeing all expiration puts get closed out, while everything for calls and for today's puts very different. This is an odd setup that puts got closed out aggressively on this news. I see coin taking a crack. Look at that account. Where are we at? I have to be up more than that. Come on. Oh, is it because Broadcom almost went green? All right, let's see how this goes. I have 2 different targets. Remember, this one needs to get locked in. That's the most I can make today because I'm attempting to get these accounts passed. So 1.5K just made on 5 accounts. So what is that? 7.5K already locked in right there. And then obviously I have these accounts as runners. And what I'm going to do is when you go up this much, I don't want to risk any money. This is just a smart thing. So my stop All right, let's move this down a little bit. My stop is now break even, so I'm not losing any money. Already guaranteed, locked in, real time. I showed it to all of your faces. I explained it. I telegraphed this as much as I possibly could. I already made $7.5 thousand locked in, and then my running trades are already break even. So no matter what, my worst case situation is making 7.5K, perfectly executed, perfectly explained, literally perfectly shown to all of you. Hang on, 252. Let's just put this down here at 152. And then all I have to do is now manage this current position. Easy peasy, lemon squeezies. So maybe it runs in my favor. Maybe it doesn't. Oop, that was a big pop back. Oop. Whoa, what was that? All right, I locked in that because I didn't like whatever this pop was. It probably had something to do with options. That was a random 50-point pop out of nowhere. These should be closed out. I don't know why that's still showing that as a position for me. All right, let me see why is that showing it at? I mean, it shows that I'm closed out. All right, let me actually kill this for a second. Orders. Cancel all orders. Why is it showing that I have a position on when I do not? Let me just disconnect and reconnect the data feed because it's showing that I closed out with a $400 gain on each of these. Disconnect. All right, let me reconnect. Oh, and then it drops. Oh, and then it pops. All right. Craziness is happening. Something just happened at 9:45 that this shit is going all forms of bonkers. So I'm happy to have locked in that 7.5K, and then I locked in an additional 8.3K, which brings it to the realm of about $15,000 already locked in. But maybe a little bit of a data issue trying to lock this in, trying to see what in the world happens. All right. Okay, and it took it. So some weird data lag, but once again, I'm already good to go. I didn't like that huge pop that happened very aggressively. I didn't know if there was like news or something. So I figured, hey, while you're up some money, you might as well take some money. So once again, these accounts are all up 8,300. These accounts are up 7,500. So about a 15K day thus far. I might do one more trade. I might also just stop it right there just to see what's going on. That was a big pop seemingly out of nowhere. And also it might be like a double bottom situation. But anyway, the 5 minute, the 10 minute, the 30, all bearish, 5, 10, 30, everything's bearish. Like I said, on the snap of 20,300, look out below. We did push another 40 points. And now we're bouncing back up. So I'm happy I took that, but I figured there was going to be a pretty brutal slugfest at 5,800. This is a huge options interest level. Oh, actually one of the most impactful from a gamma perspective. So I figured there would be a real serious fight. Now, if the Bears win this fight, i.e. if the Bulls win this fight, to be very clear, my real target on SPX would be around 5,777, which would put the SPY in the range of about 577 flat. So that's kind of what I'm watching right now. How are these? Up about 8K. I feel like this is not updating properly. But for those of you before, when you're like, why should I join the trading Discord? Well, first of all, in real time, you just saw me make about $15,000, and that's on the futures market. You might say that's not for you. Well, on the options market, today I'm up 4.9. The past week, I'm up 50. The past month, I'm up 137. The past 3 months, I'm up almost $140,000. These are all my real-time results. I don't know who else does this, but these trades are all called out in real time. Not only am I showing you on stream, ask anyone in Discord. When I get in my trade, I'll let you know. I don't do that Monday morning quarterbacking bullshit. I'm showing you in real time. These are my results. This is where I'm at, and that's exactly why you should take advantage of this free opportunity. Your first month, 100% free. Just make sure to use that promo code Goonie. My mods will put this in chat, but just go to mackohrs.locals.com. And when you sign up to become a supporter for free, which is a premium member, make sure you use that Goonie. And then that's the account management system to actually get into the Discord. All right, it looks like I'm gonna have to log in. I'll show you. Ooh, hang on, I might be missing out on a trade here. All right. Let's look for a structural. Very happy I took that. Obviously, it was unfortunate bounce back. So, like, that was a pretty aggressive bounce back. We're going up to VWAP again. I wonder if there's going to be another rejection right here. Very happy that I was so defensive with that play, and I'm not going to complain about it at all because this is how markets play out. That's exactly why when a trade goes, especially on the futures market, especially in elevated vol, you want to be very aggressive with your stop movement because, hey, if you get stopped out for break even, that like you're still fighting in the game. You're still surviving the marathon that is trading. So granted, I cut it a little early because I thought there had to be an announcement or something just random that caused such a pop. Came down. If I held through that, I would have been hopeful for the break, and then I would have been caught up in almost like this triple bottom scenario, and it would have gone against me anyway. So this one was bound to be a break-even trade for me, and instead I ended up just taking down about 400 points on top of the 7.5K locked in there. Speaking of which, I do need to get this properly working again. I got to turn on all these accounts. I've been having weird issues with my trade copier, so I'm trying to isolate what the problem is. I think I might have found it actually because of some of these suggestions from the people in the Discord. So you know who you are. Shout out. But I think I'm back to where I need to be on this. Let's do a sanity check of what side of the trade to be on. Is it worthwhile to take this breakdown trade? Yes, no, maybe so. We might be failing at 5,800, setting up the test for there. That's looking pretty fucking weak. All right. Yeah, there was this breakdown. 75 points. I'd be risking $800. If I'm wrong on this trade, I'd be net negative. I'd be net negative on the day if I'm wrong on this trade.
Order submitted.
All right, looking for this break of 84. I was a little late to this. I probably should have been in it at 50. I was still trying to do my sanity checks on the options market, and it does turn out that the options market is getting hit. So right here, you can see the 5-second. This is for the Mag 7. There was a random pop at 944. That's what stopped me out of my first position, but you can see it in the options market right here. You could see it on the NASDAQ that we've been coming down, and then you can see it on the S&P 500 also just getting a little bit clocked there. The key thing to me is right here. I called this level out to you guys a gazillion times. I'm going to set an alert there just in case I'm looking at the other screen, but we know that Captain Condor is positioned between the 80 and the 75, which is why I cut it in half. But between 80 and 75, this is the bottom side of the Captain Condor level, which is about 13,000 contracts. If we were to hit that level, obviously it should theoretically pay off very nicely for me. What I want to do here is not necessarily care the most about as you guys know, I just aggressively want to move my stop to break even. Come on. If it could just crack this intraday low at 61, I would be a happy camper. I just don't want some random options push again. 777.5. Really, it's this 5-point region because that's what Captain Condor is spread by. Right. This right here, this white box. The Captain Condor sold the 80 and then bought the 75 for protection. We just got real close. We got to the 81, but when you get this close, it's a little bit more art than science, just because you don't know if people are going to front run a little bit, or if we're going to come into the level. I'm still feeling pretty confident about this level. Why I'm feeling confident is just kind of looking at how the flow of the 0DT has been, which once again has been dramatically different than the all expiration. The Nasdaq's actually picking up, which I'm finding to be a bit surprising. But generally, I like to check the Mag 7. Oh, okay, so the longer duration puts have been super, super weird. But it looks like that person stopped. I haven't really seen this before, where the 0DT puts, the longer duration calls, and the 0DT calls have all been doing one thing, and then yet the longer duration puts have all just been off in la la land. So there was a lot of money being locked in. A lot of people who were swinging longer duration puts up until about 950 were hitting the cash register. But since then, you see now more bearish aggression. So basically, we have the story up to 950 and past 950. But it looks like we were coming down to that level that I already called out. If this does not hold, which I'm expecting a little bit of a short-term bounce, but if this does not hold, we're talking about 5,750. This is the next downside target. And of course, if we do bounce, you're talking about 5,800. You could also watch this now pretty evident down-slipping trend line. How's my position looking? I'm only barely up on this puke. That does not make me feel so good about this position. The Nasdaq is holding on a bit stronger. I would love this crack of the current intraday low right at 60.61, but the fact that the Nasdaq is holding on, my spidey senses are tingling on this one. We have not seen a fresh low in the Qs. We just got that fresh low. We hit that key level in SPX, which reminds me I should probably lock in this position. It's about 15,000. What are we trading at? We're trading at 95. All right, I'm going to try to sell these at 100 flat, place, sell. This is just a fun account, but I have my order sitting at 100, so we'll see if that hits. Come on. Come on. Hit it. Hit it. 97. Position. Can I chart this? All right, I'm trying to sell these at 100, and they're trading at 96, so we're getting close. Oh, I'm not liking this. This could be a triple bottom bounce. How is the flow looking? Mag 7 is flat. SPY is actually still tilting down, so maybe that's going to help me a little bit. Where are we at? We're right at that level. I kind of need this to snap. I thought that the Nasdaq would have a bit more bearishness. I'm actually down on the play now. Come on, get cracked. Get cracked. Yep, bouncing right off of the level, which also means that this target did not hit for me, and it means I'm also down on that now. Fuck. This is down to 91. Should I just change that order to 95? Working. 93. I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to give it a chance. I think there's still some fear in the system. I would love a new intraday low on the Qs. That would make me feel real good about my life. I would also love a new intraday low here. SPY's getting clocked. It's at 270. Coin's at 200. Let me show you what I'm looking for in some of these longer duration stuff. I know I'm all over the map, but it's just because this is really exciting. There's a lot of things to pay attention to right now. Coin, I'm looking for the downside gap fill at 197.25. Broadcom, I'm looking for the downside gap fill at 182. Tesla, I'm looking for the downside gap fill at 255. MSTR, I'm actually looking for it to crack 220. I don't get how it's still holding 250. It blows my mind. I guess Bitcoin is holding. I don't get how Bitcoin's not vomiting a bit more right now, but I suppose that's just where we are at in the grand scheme of things. Fuck, is this bouncing a little bit here? Come on, get cracked. We don't really need that. Remember, this 5-point region between 5,780 and 5,775, this is support. This is the iron condor position. I could show it to you. I believe the player's still in the position. They were as of market open. Where are we? Where are we? Trace. Right here. 5,780, 5,775. This is the put credit side of the overall iron condor. This player's being tested. If this blows out, they'll probably be down 8-ish mil. They got blown out yesterday. So I'm kind of watching this. This is the major watch right now. They're being tested. This is the short leg. They want it above 5,780. So they're getting tested. If they pull this position, it's going to cause the market to fall more. They might just try to like white knuckle it. But that's exactly not only why did I call this level out, but that's exactly why we're finding support exactly in this region. It's because of, how many was it? 12.8 thousand. This is just support. Maybe support breaks, maybe it doesn't. I'm hoping it does break. So obviously this play goes positive for me. I need to do a little bit better risk management. But really what I need to see is the NQ take out the low of the day. As soon as it does, I'll put my stop to break even. But I am taking on a little bit too much risk right now. We're not necessarily seeing that flush quite yet. The Mag 7 is flat. The Nasdaq is actually strong. Once again, long duration puts getting closed out. No one's touching calls. We're not seeing the bull step into the market. It's not even today's 0 DTs. It's long duration puts getting closed out on the NDX and also on the SPX. But to be fair, the SPX is back to kind of getting crushed right now. You could see that right here. It was good up until about 950, got smoked. I don't know if this is going to hold. I mean, obviously no one does. All I could tell you is we're right at a key level and the pressure was picking up to break it. And now we just went flat on the SPX. So if this drops, if you see the delta drop more, the market makers are going to hedge their position by going short, which actually might give us the break we actually need. But this, I'm telling you exactly why we're dancing around exactly at this level. So remember, if it does snap, the next level is 57.50. So that's why they're going to fight hard here, because if this opens up, we have a 30-point sell-off. A 30-point sell-off, which would be $3 in the SPY, bringing us down to 574. So that's kind of what's at stake right here. I understand why people are trying to defend the level so much, but I do strongly believe none of this is a guarantee. Remember, it's always a game of probabilities, but if this does not hold, we're coming down. And actually, well, I was going to say that just got filled. Realized on the day, 15.7 thousand right there on this account. And then obviously I am also completely destroying it over here on my official swing account, up about 18,000, officially cracking 202. The past week up 62, the past month up 146, the past 3 months up 151, just crushing it all over. This is why you should get into the Discord. Okay, cool. We just cracked that. I can take all my risk off the table. All risk now off the table. I am not losing money today. I made the 7.5K here. I'm already up 2K over here. And now we are just rocking. We caught the, let's go. Show me the money. Show me the money. Show me the money. Show me the money. That's how you do it. I am the best trader in the entire world. There is not enough flour for all the bread I am making. Warren Buffett is washed. He is washed. Yes, he is. Warren Buffett can lick my taint. He doesn't know shit about the market. I'm joking. He's actually a hero of mine. And I think he's really fucking smart and really rich. All right, I'm going to let it try to flush one time, but if we do recover above the second standard deviation, I got to get out because the chance of a reversal here is just so incredibly high off the 2 standard deviation move from VWAP. I know the odds of it, and it's actually better to go long on this recovery. Like I said, I was hoping for another flush, but if I just need to take my money, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Come on, break down for me. Break down for me. All right, like I said, I'm going to give it one shot. I gave it one shot out of the 2 standard deviation move. And on the next one, I found from a little bit of back testing, from a little bit of anecdotal evidence, that by the time you get to the second one, you're just kind of overstaying your welcome. So I gave it one shot, and I might be getting fucked here anyway. I might. Come on. I'm trying to stay steady with this one. I'm trying to stay steady with this one. I think there's another 15-point sell-off in SPX here. All right. Calm, cool, collected. Calm, cool, collected. Could you guys stop yelling at me? I'm trying to focus. I think a lot of you guys are taking a tone with me that I don't necessarily appreciate right now. You're taking a little bit of a tone.
I see them talking in the comments like they Wall Street kings. Whole account smaller than my Monday swings. Trying to flex a chart with no volume in sight. Bro, your gains look thinner than your stop loss might. I'm trading pre-market while you're still in bed. Buy the fear, sell the hype, then I double my spread. While you beg for a rally, I'm shorting the dream. Turn a red candle into a money machine. I don't chase, I replace, make the bag rotate. Pockets thick like fat cars, eating off your mistakes. You pray for a squeeze, I just press on the gas. Turn your dumb little FOMO to cash in my hands. Every trade got precision, every move got a plan. While you losing your rent, cause you trade like a bitch. Lame. Y'all act like Buffett, cause you read one book. Took a loss, now you shook, trying to blame the crooks. I don't play fair, I just play to get paid. Turn a gap down, open to a private estate. You still posting screenshots, hoping they care. I gestured out a play that don't even seem fair. While your bag holding pennies, I'm pressing the spread. You trade like a simp, I trade like the feds. I don't chase, I replace, make the bag rotate. Pockets thick like fat Kohrs, eating off your mistakes. You pray for a squeeze, I just press on the gas. Turn your dumb little FOMO to cash in my hands. Every trade got precision, every move got a plan. While you losing your rent, cause you trade like a bitch. Chase, I replace, make the bag rotate. Pockets thick like fat Kohrs, eating off your mistakes. You pray for a squeeze, I just press on the gas. Turn your dumb little FOMO to cash in my hands. Every trade got precision, every move got a plan. While you losing your rent, cause you trade like a bitch.
Oh, come on. What was the other song? These are all on Tendies and Tunes, by the way. Come on, fucker.
Woke up late, still made 5 bands. Did it half asleep, y'all don't stand a chance. Told your whole Discord to buy the dip. Now they all in my DMs, cause the floor just slipped. I don't trade dreams, I don't chase hype. I just print money while you pray at night. Your mom's in my messages asking for tips. Says she likes how I move, yeah, she loving the risk. I don't need no luck, I don't need no guide. I just press that green, watch the numbers fly. You can flex fake charts, you can run your mouth, but your broker says you can't even cash it out. Nah, prints don't lie, your bag look heavy, hope you like the ride. Another week, another 100 grand. I might throw a party just to burn a couple bands. They be begging me to share my plays, but if I gave them out, they'd fumble them away. Your mom's in my messages asking for tips. Says she likes how I move, yeah, she loving the I don't need no luck, I don't need no guide. I just press that green, watch the numbers fly. You can flex fake charts, you can run your
Holy shit, this is up $25,000? What the fuck? And we're cracking? Dude, I'm the best trader in the fucking world. Who else does this in real time to all of you? Who else is giving you such specific levels, such specific targets that end up being real? Look at What is this? 27,000, 7.8, 7, 5.5, 2, all green. You guys obviously saw the Webull account making 15.7K. You're obviously seeing the futures account currently up 50,000. Who's doing it? Name one other person being so public, so transparent with every single action and crushing it every single day. Truly, I do not believe you can find another educator, guru, furu, influencer in this entire space who is pulling off what the Goonie community is doing. Seriously. Like I'm sure, like you guys saw all this in real time. You saw the management, you saw the reasoning, you saw the levels. You're seeing fucking everything. Actually, I have too many alerts going off right now. I need to set an alert here. 50 is the next level. And then the reach target. Remember, bearish target 1, bearish target 2, reach target all the way down here. Right. I'm just trying to trend follow this all the way down. Trying to trend follow this all the way down. Maybe I need to go a little bit more. I'm playing with fire though. When you're getting outside of like the bounces off of the second standard deviation, like it's actually a good long opportunity. What I'm holding out for is this: the fact that we still have we have about $6 to go. I'm really trying to target this and hoping that the Nasdaq is highly correlated with that move. So like, why am I not like getting out there? Because I'm thinking that there might be a bit more of a flush, a tiny bit more of a flush. Mag 7 just hit the low of the day in terms of the options flow right here, just got goose. S&P 500 is at the low of the day, but not really moving right now. And the NASDAQ also started to puke here at 10 a.m. Q's fresh low. I'm looking for the SPY to hit a fresh low. The SPY just hit a fresh low. Come on. Come on. Give us that puke. Give us that puke. Did we hit the level? Nope, not yet. We hit fresh lows, but we didn't hit 57.50. That's what I'm holding out for. That's what I'm holding out for. Come on. Come on. You can puke. The max profit I could go for is all the way down here. I don't know if we'll hit it. If we do, I'll be stoked. But I can't go further than that because of the consistency rules. But more so what I care about is this, the trend following stop that I'm using. And more likely than not, I'll be getting out of this position by just closing it myself as it dances around this 2 standard deviation move. But obviously, we're going to see that in real time. I called out 574 to you because exactly why did I call out 574? Because it was the equivalent to 575. So if you just crush SPY at this hitting 574, you are more than welcome. You are more than welcome. The VIX is getting past 25. Tesla's getting fucking goosed. Coin's getting goosed. Broadcom. All right. We're about to hit 5750 on SPX. And that's kind of what I'm watching. We're dancing. We're getting real close to that second target. Real close. But we didn't quite hit it. This is going to be the reason I know this is what people are paying attention to is just because of the amount of options positioning currently there. Speaking of that, how have things changed throughout the day? Let's reload. Let's reload this. So the bot. Oh fuck! Hang on. Too many screens open. We're ramping out of it. Fuck. Bouncing a little hard right off that level. Am I going to give it a shot? Is it a fake out? Is it a fake out? Is it a fake out? That was a big rip right off that 57.50. We definitely had some people stepping in right here. Just boom. Is it going to hold, though? We got a big pop. I'm getting close. Fuck me. Dude, the volatility, the movement that we were having today. Come on, crack it. Take out this low. Take out 200. Come back down. Nope. Oh, I could just end today and be massively profitable. I could just kick it back and sip on some pina coladas for the rest of the day. Do I think this is going to vomit again? We got to look at the options flow. The thing I know best for indicating this is the flow. And the SPY popped a little bit. It's not really doing the most, though. We got the Mag 7, a little bit of a pop. It just keeps coming back to that. Shit, it almost knocked me out anyway. We're getting... Dude, this vol, dude, we are moving 30 points like it's nothing. Am I going to get lucky? Do I want to do it? Do I just take it? Do I take it? Yes, no, maybe so. 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 Does he take it? Does he hold? Does he take it? Does he hold? Decisions need to be made, team.
Woke up late, still made 5 bands, did it half asleep, y'all don't stand a chance. Told your whole Discord to buy the dip, now they all in my DMs, cause the floor just slipped. I don't trade dreams, I don't chase hype, I just print money while you pray at night. Your mom's in my messages asking for tips, says she likes how I move, yeah, she loving the risk. I don't need no luck, I don't need no guide. I just press that green, watch the numbers fly. You can flex fake charts, you can run your mouth, but your broker says you can't even cash it out. Nah, prints don't lie, your bag look heavy, hope you like the ride. Another week, another 100 grand. I might throw a party just to burn a couple bands. They be begging me to share my plays, but if I gave them out, they'd fumble them away. Your mom's in my messages asking for tips, says she likes how I move, yeah, she loving the I don't need no luck, I don't need no guide. I just press that green, watch the numbers.
We're coming up for the second test. All right. This will be telling to see how many people take their profit here.
Hope you like the ride. Hope you like the ride. I don't need no luck, I don't need no guide. I just press that green,
Broke.
watch the numbers
Snapped it.
fly. You can flex fake charts, you can run your mouth.
Next level, 5730. There might be a quick reversion. 5730's it, followed by 5700.
Hope you like the ride. Hope you like the ride. Oh, hope you like the ride. Hope you like the ride.
Currently up 60K. Hope you like the ride. What other? Should we get some Kohrs on the Cob rocking this morning? Kohrs on the Cob is always a fan favorite. Little Kohrs on the Cob. Break out your corn cobs. A little corn cob breakfast.
Woke up feeling lucky, had a feeling in my gut. Checked my trades with a coffee and a half-burned blunt. Green on the screen, thought I hit my stride. Then the market turned south like a fast tide bride. Watched it slip, watched it fall through my hands like a wild horse running. I couldn't hold to the plan. Some days you win, some days you lose. Some nights you're counting up dreams come true. Other times you're just counting the scars, trying to buy back the pieces of a broken heart. Ain't no rewind, ain't no regret. Just a lesson ain't free that I won't forget. I heard my old man's voice saying play it slow. You don't bet the house on what you don't know. But I was too proud, too short, too fast. Now I'm picking up pieces of a trade gone bad. A fool and his money don't last too long. Guess I had to learn that the hard way all along. Some days you win, some days you lose. Some nights you're counting up dreams come true. Other times you're just counting the scars, trying to buy back the pieces of a broken heart. Ain't no rewind, ain't no regret. Just a lesson ain't free that I won't forget. Ain't no bell to warn you when the fall comes fast. Ain't no map to tell you when to double or pass. Just a heart full of hope and a handful of tries, and a pocket full of lessons money can't buy.
33,000! Folks, is this guy real? Look at the balls on this guy.
Some days you win, some days you lose. Some nights you're counting up dreams come true. Other times you're just counting the scars, trying to buy back the pieces of a broken heart. Ain't no rewind, ain't no regret. Just a lesson ain't free that I won't forget.
Look at the balls on Tonto. What's this one? One tick from broke.
I put my last dime on a long shot bet. Chart looked shaky, had me dripping in sweat.
Come on.
Whiskey
No. 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 No.
to the market like it's my blood brother.
Down. Other way. Down. No. No.
The walls cave in, then that candle shot up like a tailgate grin. I was one tick from broke, one cent from crying. Put my rent on trade, had my hands to the sky, man. But I rode that dip like a drunk on a bull. Now I'm
Come on.
missing out whiskey and pockets
Shit.
stay full.
Come on. Come on. Puke. A little puke. Just hit it. Just hit it. Just hit it, man. We're right there. Just hit it. Puke. Puke. No. Come on. We're going. We're going. Trust the process. 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 Come on. Come on. Trust the process. Good people make money. Good people make money. Fuck.
While you chase a dispute.
Shit.
Whiskey
Shit.
neat, yeah, my hand's still steady. Market's looking wild, but my sales already.
Smash it. Smash it right back down. We got so close. So close. Smash it. Smash it.
I was one
Fuck
tick
me.
from broke,
It was
one
so
sip
close.
from
Fail.
crying.
Smash it. Smash it.
Hovering on a trade, had my hands to the sky, man, but I rode that dip like a
We hit
drunk
32.
old. Now I'm pissing out whiskey and pockets stay full.
Delta's looking real low. SPY got a little bit of a pop there. Fuck me. I guess that's not the song to bring the market down. Come on. Come back down below VWAP here.
Woke up feeling lucky, my portfolio was thick. Thought I'd ride the wave, man, that chart was sick. Bought the dip,
Come back.
or so they said. Now I'm playing catch up with a hole in my head.
Come on.
Green candles flashing, thought I'd hit the jackpot. But now my account's empty, guess I missed the plot. Got cocky, kept pushing every damn trend. Now I'm watching my future unravel to the end.
Either give me 100K or give me death. That's the point we're at. We're either having our first six-figure Apex day, or we're taking death.
Every tweet and post. I chased every
Fuck,
hype,
dude.
thought I was close. But the crash came fast like a flood from the skies. Now I'm left with nothing.
It's
no
really
truth,
battling
only
it out.
lies. Tried to short the bounce, yeah, I played the game. But the market's a beast and I'm the one to blame. Watch my wealth drain like sand in the sand. And now I'm fighting for air, just trying to live fucking.
Dude, this Delta's still pressing low. The options market is getting fucked on the Mag 7. The NASDAQ had a little bit of a bounce, but the SPY has a little bit of a reversion right now. I need this to tilt back over so SPX can resume its vomit to 5,730. Ah, dude, people are taking their profits right now is what's screwing me. These puts are being locked in ever since 1020. People are locking in their profits. I need them to stop doing that so the Delta can keep going negative. Come on, fucker. Come on. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Break it down. If it can take out 100, I have a shot of that quick vomit, and then I'm done. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay. All right. We snapped that level. I was going to say, as long as we don't have a very quick bounce back, and then it literally ripped off of it. Fuck. Come on. No. Come back down to it. Retest 100. Retest 100. Snap it. No. It almost snapped right there. I got so close. That would have set up a quick puke. But that bounce, dude, there was a lot of fuck. All right, I'm out. What's that? 70K made. I was trying, I'm sorry. I was going for the 100K. I just wasn't able to pull it off. So instead I made right here, 3.5 times 20 count. So that's 70K. Yep. Or 70? Why is it saying 70? Oh, 20 times 35. Yeah, 70K. Okay, 70K locked in. My math, I don't know what I was doing with my mental math. My apologies. But anyway, 3.5K per account on 20 accounts, locking in 70K. And I just didn't want to catch this breakout. And I'm happy I got out because I would have made less money. So not a bad deal. It looks like what we have right now is people are locking in their put profits. So we are bouncing off of the level that I called out to all of you. We technically bounced at 32, and then we bounced right back up to 50, really aggressively up to 50. And then obviously if we take out 64, I'd be looking at 77. So we almost got there. How do I call these levels out so perfectly? The puke, the dance around, the puke, the bounce, the break, almost getting to the next level. It's just from reading options flow, folks. It really is. Like it's not rocket surgery. It's just once you intimately understand how the market makers are going to react to the magnitude and the alterations in open interest and how they're going to hedge, and because like that's the beauty of a single dealer market, is you just get so many extra insights, and that is 100% how I call out all these levels so perfectly. It's 100% how I was able to lock in almost 16 grand there. It's how I was able to be up 28 grand here, and that's actually still riding. It's how I was able to make 70 grand on Apex and another 7.5 on take profit for a 77K total. So on futures trading, made about $77,000 on this account, currently up 33, and then on this other random account, I'm up 15. So obviously, it's a great day. I cannot stress this enough. I'm more than willing to teach you what I know, how I do it. Check out the Discord. When you sign up on the Discord, make sure you are a supporter and use that code. Oh, hang on, let me log in over here so you guys don't see my password. I forgot to do this. It needs to make sure that I'm a human. It means to make sure that I'm a human. When you guys sign up as a supporter to get into the Discord, there's a giant Discord button right here, and there's also the link in the second pin message. Second pin message and Discord. When you do sign up, after you sync your accounts, it can take up to 1 hour. The database updates at the change of every new hour. So if you sign up at like 11:40, it'll update at noon, just so you guys know. So give it like an hour and you're going to be good. But like I said, to get into the Discord, first sign up for locals, you could become a supporter for free with that code Goonie. Giant Discord button right there, or the second pin message right there. We're getting a little bit of that bounce, and now, yeah, that's a completely fair like reversion. I mean, if I were to throw up the VWAP, look how far out we are. We're outside of the first standard deviation move, and for a while there, we were outside of the second standard deviation move. I still do think that this fails. If 50 doesn't hold, I'm looking for another push down to 30. That's definitely a playable trade right there. But if you guys have been watching any of my videos, especially on the Apex for my trading strategy, like I made a whole video giving away my trading strategy for this stuff. It blows my mind that people still like ask me what I'm doing and if I could help them when I already made an entire video explaining my trading methodology. So I highly recommend checking it out. It's out there for free. You don't have to pay for it. That's not even in the Discord. Of course, in the Discord, we talk about it a lot, but this trading strategy, exactly what I did today and my reasoning for what I did today, it's up there. It's actually in the description of the video. It's up on Rumble. It's up on YouTube. You just kind of have to watch it. But I definitely like, it's just, oh, fuck. What do I want to do? I forgot. All right. I need to manage. We're gonna get rid of that. Done. All right, I'm locking in some of these. Is he gonna have a look? He is. Of course he's gonna have a look. All right, let me update. If you are in the Discord, I just made hang on. Log. All right. Dude, should I just lock in everything right now? I could have the easiest trading day of the entire... I could lock in everything right now, clear around $200,000 and just be done on the day. I could do that. I could... That is within my capabilities of... Ooh, the NASDAQ just took a nasty hit, though. The SPY started, yeah. So people like me, they're locking in their profits. Some people are getting 0DT calls, but more so you have puts getting closed out. People are hitting the cash register on these puts. Oh, man. We did successfully recapture 50. It could end up being an inverse shoulder, head, shoulder. So watch for that, a dip down to 50 that bases and bounces off. Then you have an easy play back up to 77.5 roughly. But if 50 doesn't hold, once again, we're just coming back down to 30. So basically, if this bounce fails, we're looking coming back down to the scene of the crime, which is basically the intraday low here. So I'll be watching that. Obviously, most importantly, I'm going to be watching the options flow with it. I think that's going to be the most insightful stuff. But yeah, we have a little bit of a pop on the Mag 7. The NASDAQ had a bigger pop and is starting to give it back, but price isn't really giving it back. And then we have this. I'm actually pretty proud of my exit. Look at that. I got out here. This is what I was able to do today. I went short right here. Well, first I had one short position that I got out for a small profit. I went short again at 950. I rode it all the way down to here. Did I bottom ticket? No. But your goal as an active trader, I really don't like. Of course, if you do bottom like tick or top tick, it's a cool thing to do. But my goal is to capture the meat of the move. So the move was from here at 948 all the way down here to 1022. So that was a good multi-100 point move. I caught my goal. I'm not top ticking. I'm not bottom ticking. If you hold yourself to that, you're going to be always frustrated, because to be able to bottom tick or top tick, it is nothing but luck. Unless you are a multi-billionaire and you are creating the floors and the ceilings, as an active trader, it's just not in your game. So for me, okay, it started to show weakness. There was other things. Like I said, I was a little late to it. I should have been in about a minute earlier. But regardless, I caught the meat of the move. That is my goal. If I could catch 60, 70, 80% of whatever that impulse is, and once again, this is all broken down. I have a video explaining it. This isn't like a paid thing. Like, the video's out there. It's on Rumble. It's on YouTube. I explained it. It's in the description of the video. Watch it. Like, if you look in the description, I had that. The link is the exact strategy I used to make $240,000. I'm explaining it. And to give you guys, I guess, a little bit more of the insight right here, I captured about 60% of the move, 70% of the move. Good. Done. That's my goal. That is 100% my goal. If you're holding yourself to that level of like, no, I need a bottom tick, I need a top tick, you're going to most likely end up overstaying your welcome, and then you're probably going to get completely steamrolled. So that's what you need to do, is like focus, be like, nope, I got the meat of this overall move. I got out right when it showed a little bit of strength. And of course, I did that because it might rip all the way back up. Simultaneously, it might also just dramatically vomit from there. I don't know. Maybe there's going to be a whole nother move. But regardless, I know, especially because when you guys saw what I did yesterday, I ended up over trading, but right there, 70K locked in. That's my best day on Apex. And then obviously it got a little bit better on Take Profit, making another 7.5K, which actually reminds me, this stuff right here, I'm trading with someone else's money. When it comes to the SIM funded futures world, how it works is you sign up, you take a test. If you pass the test, you're going to get a funded account. When you have a funded account in eval, you go from eval to a performance. And then on performance, if you trade well, you get to actually take money out. So basically, it's a good way to minimize your risk as you're working on your own trading strategies. Right now, Take Profit's actually offering a very interesting deal. Not only do you get 30% off for life, but you're never going to have to pay an activation fee. So before this, Take Profit, you would take the test, and then when you pass the test, to go from eval to performance, you'd have to pay an extra fee. Right now, they're running a specialty offer for all of you. All you have to do is use the code Goonie, and you could actually upgrade for free. And what's cool about this is it's for the life of the account. As in, if you take the test and you don't pass it, you can reset it. And still, if you pass on the second time, still no activation fee. This is a very, very, very good deal. 30% off and no activation fee when you go from eval to performance. That's what's pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. To get this deal, just put in that code Goonie. Once again, 30% off to take the test. When you take the test, if you fail, okay, you could reset. If you fail again, okay, you could reset. In the event that when you finally pass, and hopefully it's your first time, but if it's your second, your third, your fourth, it doesn't matter. When you actually pass, when you use this code right now, you're not going to ever have to pay an activation fee. So generally, I like to talk about the ones that I think have the best deal running for you right now. Obviously, I trade on Apex, I trade on Take Profit, I trade on Vanquish. Vanquish is more for options trading, but right now, with respect to futures, I do want you to know that the code Goonie is going to get you 30% off and no activation fee, which I think is absolutely awesome. So I'm kind of hoping to use that myself because I'm trying to get these bad boys passed. But just want to let you know that is pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. I love it because I find it's a great way to reduce your own risk. Highly recommend you guys checking it out. I see some questions for the options flow. Bouncing ever since 1019. We're kind of going flat right now. The NASDAQ bounce gave some back, but kind of going flat again. The Mag 7 bounce kind of going flat. So we're already, this was the first impulse of the day as an active, well, when I'm day trading, my goal is to take the second wave of the impulse. I call it the MK impulse trading strategy. The impulse was to the downside. We have a bit of a bounce back. I want to take the second wave of the impulse. I've done a lot of statistical research on this. As a trader, especially doing these prop accounts, I think the best way to be successful in this is to just get your one trade, get in, get out, and move on with your life. And I've created I've created various strategies around it, but my favorite one for all of that is the MK impulse strategy. And just so you know, it looks like the market's turning once again. I think we just put in a lower high. Let's see if this ends up actually being a very solid trade. Because I guess to reason this with you, if you went short right now on this failure, think about the risk reward. You're only risking $8 and your potential reward is down to 32. So that's 30. So you're risking 8 going for 30. If this trade hits, great. If it doesn't, just understand that this system, that strategy, that risk reward, you're going to be net profitable because even if you're right 50-50, you're going to be so massively profitable because the payoff is so much greater than the risk. So you don't want to be betting the house on one individual bet because you don't know if like variance is going to come for you in that trade. But with proper bet sizing, when you have decent odds but superior risk to reward ratios, that's the setup you want. I really wouldn't be surprised if you had missed all the trades of the day. I would not be surprised if we fast forward to the end of the day and going short right now ends up being the trade of the day. I really would not be surprised because obviously we pushed to the downside, kind of like this A, B, C. D is that next leg lower. So right here. And whether that's right or wrong, I can't make any guarantees. All I can tell you is you have very reasonable risk. You have capped risk that is more than easy to manage. So you have well-defined, manageable risk. You have well-defined reward that might get even better if you're more of a trend-following trader. And what I need to like really emphasize here is just because you have a good setup, that doesn't mean you go all in because you could be dealt pocket aces and you don't know if you're going to win. But I'm telling you this right here. I mean, literally, I'm calling out in real time, 10:38, 10:39. This might end up being the short of the day because whether it works for you or if it doesn't, it's a good decision because you have well-defined risk, you have optimal reward, and everything is trending in your favor. The 5-minute, the 10-minute, the 30-minute, and the 4-hour on ES and NQ are both bearish. Looking at the options flow, we pumped, we're starting to give it back. Looking at the options flow, we pumped, we're starting to give it back. And looking at the S&P 500, once again, we pumped, we bumped. And you're just looking for this to get crocked now. And then we obviously know these levels. Yeah, it might bounce off of 50. Yeah, you might have the shoulder, head, shoulder, inverse. So be careful about that if there is a clear bounce. But if there's that failure, you have an easy push all the way down to the next key options level. So I don't know how this particular trade works out. No one on this planet knows how this particular trade works out. But if you are looking for those types of setups time and time again, where price is in the short term reverting back to going in trend with the larger trend. If the larger trend is strong, as in the 5, the 10, the 30, the 40, and it's also aligning with options, those are the types of trades you want. Those are 100% the types of trades you want. So just wanted to share that. Obviously, I already locked mine in. I have no live positions right now. Let me actually get out of that, the copier, just because it seems like I did have some issues with the copier. But the reason I'm stopping myself right now is because yesterday I overtraded and I had to very much rely on Trump popping off and talking about tariffs and whatever that meeting was in the afternoon for things to break my way. While the midday session, it almost completely screwed my account. So like I need to take that lesson from myself yesterday that I was severely over trading. So I'm basically gonna stop now. Yeah, I still have my swing positions. Of course, I still have my swing positions. And actually at this point, let me check some other stuff for those of you in the Discord. Obviously, I updated my swing positions. I updated swingers. I updated thick trades. The only other thing you guys are missing right now is old Pipper. Old Pipper. Old Pipper. What do we have? What do we have? Wow. This is actually kind of fucking nuts. Wow. Kind of strange, but I guess the numbers are the numbers. All right. If you're in the Discord, I'm firing off the Piper strategy for you guys momentarily. I just want to double check that I typed it all right. Today is March the 4th. All right. Yeah, I guess that's it. All right, if you're in there, it's just I wanted to double check it all, but that's what the numbers are. That's crazy. Are those Bollinger Bands you are using? Nope. BTC or don't bother, honestly. Not sure what you're talking about, but okay. So with all that being said, now that I have a moment to catch my breath and absolutely fucking annihilated it on futures, made 77,000, on another options position, made 16, and then obviously on my swing position, I am currently up 28,000 on the day. So obviously a very, very nice day. Happy with it. Could have been a little bit better. It looks like it's about to fail. Had I held through all this, I'd probably be able to catch it. But why risk it? Because what if this bounce just led to a huge pop? So with respect to risk to reward, where I got out, I think that truly was the play. Obviously, if I wanted to overtrade today, I could be re-entering. But because I overtraded yesterday, I'm kind of punishing myself and saying, no, don't do that. That's stupid. So all I am right now is just managing my current positions. I'm not going to be getting into new ones. Once again, all coming back to just I'm putting myself in a little bit of the doghouse from yesterday. So with that being said, are there any questions on take profit, on Apex, on the Discord, on spot gamma with the options flow, on risk management, on variance, on gamma rallies, on Vanner rallies, on I guess you guys have any questions on my thoughts on, I don't know, do you have any questions for Kohrs on the Cobb? Do you want, he's a friend of mine and I know a lot about him, but is there anything that like I could be I guess like that like you have a question of? Relationship advice. If you have any tenuous relationships with your wife, your husband, your kids, your parents, I'm obviously here for that. What else do you guys have? What is on your mind? Saving the regular people like us. Thank you, Mike, for your insight. More than happy to. Dude, not only am I stoked about making myself money, I'm very, very happy when I help you guys make money. And that's exactly what the Discord is all about. Great Depression 2.0. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Can you explain simply how are you using spot gamma for determining reversals? Yeah. Spot gamma right here on the screen. This is the S&P 500 complex. So the white line is the price of the S&P 500. The colorized bars are the delta flow. The light green is the 0 DTE, and then the purple/red is the all expiration delta flow together. Delta is many things that you can gather from it, but one of the things that you can glean from delta is the bullishness or bearishness of the options flow. So obviously things were bullish up until 949, and then the options flow got negative. That could be from a combination of things, but more specifically, it's either from people buying puts, selling calls, or the combination of buying puts and selling calls. So that's, you're just seeing the high level. You're asking for the high level, superficial level, is you're seeing the bullishness or bearishness of the options market. So this is with respect to the S&P 500. This is respect with the NASDAQ. This is with respect to the Mag 7. And then you can see it for individual equities. For example, ever since 939, Tesla got murdered up until about 1026. And then since then has calmed down. Looking at Coinbase, got murdered up until about 1021. It stopped getting murdered. Price popped. Options are now flat. Looking at NVIDIA is actually going up. It's probably, people are buying calls on NVIDIA and getting out of their longer durated puts. So people might be saying, we really think the NVIDIA low is being put in. MSTR was fine, got hit at 948 and then at 1030 bounced and now going sideways. Broadcom has actually been bouncing throughout the day. So it kind of gives you a different idea of what's going on rather than just price. But once again, with respect to price, as I said, I would not be surprised. What time did I say? 10:38, 10:39. Wouldn't be surprised if that's another short opportunity of the day. Where can I find Kohrs on the Cob music? It's all in the description of the video. We have a whole nother channel for all of the Tendies and Tunes music. Basically, it's all the music made by my producer, Chaos. All the music's up there. It's 100% free. We're just giving it out. We hope you enjoy it, but check in the description of the video. Since you made money, do we get a 9 p.m. stream? The odds of you guys getting the 9 p.m. Trump stream are very high. Thoughts on rum the past week or so? It's getting beat up with the entire market. And on top of that, they're in the short term, they're going to be losing like one of the most popular content creators on the planet, Dan Bongino. So it makes sense to me. But once again, I don't actively trade Rumble. I'm invested in it. I care about where Rumble's going in the next 1 to 2 to 3 decades. So do I wish it was going up in the short term? 100%. But I mean, when you have the biggest content creator in the world leaving, it's gonna hit the revenue. But once again, that's a short-term thing. That's talking about this quarter, next quarter. I care about Rumble competing with YouTube in the same weight class 1 to 2 to 3 decades from now. So with Rumble, which I own Rumble, and I want to be honest about that, I'm a long-term investor. If I were actively trading it, like anything that's an active trade, you played the trend. And you play the trend relative to the time frame that you're in. So if you're a swing trader, you probably care about the 30-minute, the 4-hour, the daily. If you're a day trader, you probably care about the 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 10-minute. So you have to apply like your thoughts on that. You have to apply the appropriate time frame to what your trade is. Did I cut MSTR? That's what the Discord's for. At a certain point, I am running a business. I have mouths to feed, Piper, my producer, my wife. So I can't give 100% out. And like the reason I don't want to give that out of like every single trade publicly for free is because it's valuable. Folks, I'm up. I mean, it's beyond valuable. Where are we? The last month, I'm up 153,000. The last 3 months, I'm up 158. The last day, I'm up 27. Like the last week, I'm up 70K. At a certain point, like I'm not like, when there's something of such value, why would I just give it away 100%? I give away a ton, an absolute ton for free. We do this show. I give out the levels, but it's more of to get you guys interested to say, be like, okay, if he's doing this, and now you want to really get into the nitty gritty of how does he read the options train, the stats, facts, and figures, and like just all the other conversations that happen throughout the day. That's what it's for. Like at a certain point, like, yeah, it's still running a business. I mean, at a certain, like, what would be the benefit of me giving away 100% of every single thing I know for 100% free? Like, that would just be a stupid thing. Just because you've been here since the beginning doesn't mean you know what you're talking about. To me, I feel like I know what I'm talking about, and I think that's proven from my P&L. Can you explain the consistency rule, profit on Apex and the take profit? I'm a 3-year-old. Yeah, no individual day profit can count for over a certain percentage of your total profit. So if in the life of whatever your account, it's up 10K, the profit rule is 30%. So no individual calendar day can count for more than 3K of profit. So it's just how much did you make in a trading session can't be more than a certain percentage of your total profit. You can get far off of this show alone. I need to learn how to read options flow like Matt. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, from what I just put out there for free, you could be a profitable trader. Now, if you want to expedite that process and then have an even more intimate understanding of the market, or at least how I view it, that's what the Discord is for. But literally just from the show and the levels and the conversations we have, all the videos out there. I mean, fuck, the strategy that I made 240K with on Apex, like the payouts into my account, that's just up there for free. Like I don't want anyone to feel forced into having to be a member of the community, like a premium member of the community, a paying member of the community. I guess I just don't care enough. Like I don't want anyone to be like, oh, okay, like I have to do it. No, if you have to do it, I understand we're all in like financially different situations. So like I give enough out there where I very, very, very much believe you would be profitable from just that. But once again, if you want to speed the process up and have a better understanding of the market, that's exactly what that's for. Is it correct one can scale up their payout on Apex after 5? I think it's after 6, but there's no more ceiling. So the ceiling is dependent on your account size. For example, I have 50K accounts, so the most I could take out per account per payout is 2K. But after the 6th payout, I could just do whatever I want. And I just hit 6. So for example, up until now, for every individual account, I could take out 2K, and I had 20 accounts, so 2K times 20, 4K was the max payout. But now that I'm past that, I could actually take out whatever I want starting Thursday. So there's no more ceiling for me. No more ceiling. If you take Matt's advice for long-term shit, then you can build that 30K, 5K buffer, and then you can start PDT, or it's all paper. Yeah. I mean, as an options trader, it is very, very, very difficult to go below PDT. Like we've all been there before. It sucks. Is it possible? Yeah, but just understand what this, the smaller your account is, it is harder to get to that point of critical mass where you can like really survive the variance of the market. Hey, remember when I told you that 1038, 1039 was going to be the short of the day? Looks like that one's playing out pretty nicely. Cash account is fine with options. Not necessarily. If you're betting too much, you're still going to run into your good faith violation. Only need margin if you're trading equities. Nope, that's not true. Obviously, you could trade equities on a cash account. You could trade options on a cash account. Most people want to trade on a margin account. I never trade a cash account. I don't think there's any advantage. I think there's no advantage to being in a cash account. I think you want to be in a margin account, and really what you want to do is if you're below that PDT limit, that's fine. You use the time when you're below PDT to really work on your strategy. Prove it to yourself in a paper trading account that you can be net profitable over X amount of time. As you are working in other aspects of your life to grow the funding for your account, you don't have to not trade. Just don't trade real money, which is going to give you the opportunity to refine what your trading system is. One of the biggest issues I see in the world of retail trading is too many people are trading with their real money before knowing what they're doing. They're like, yeah, no, I'm just willing to bet real money, even though they have a lot of learning to still do. So my biggest suggestion is learn, trade as much as you possibly can, be ravenous with the information you take in, and trade on a paper account, not real money. And then from there, when you're feeling a bit more comfortable, that's when you pivot to the world of sim to funded, because you have a little bit of risk, you have a little bit of skin in the game. It's a good intermediary that did not exist when I was learning how to trade. And then from there, when you do well in that environment, ideally you could use those payouts to then fund your own fully funded account. So I think that's the way to do it, is you start with a paper trading to learn the basics. When you're feeling comfortable with the basics, you then go to sim to funded, whether it's something like Vanquish, whether it's something like Apex, whether it's something like Take Profit, whatever your favorite is. And then from there, with lower risk, but still a little bit of risk, okay, if you do well, you get payouts, and then you prove it to yourself via the payouts, and then you could use those payouts to fund your own account. I think that's the perfect ladder to do it while minimizing your risk. What's your biggest recent daily loss? $440,000. A lot. It was a lot. I lost a house in a day, and it made me want to fucking vomit. You're a joke. Okay. I guess I'll be laughing. It is a joke, because the amount that I laugh all the way to the bank account, it's a jolly good time. I go, ha, 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 ha. I laugh in like a rich corporate laugh. And then I look at my bank account and I think, okay, that's sick. Matt, is public for U.S. residents only? I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that's right. $440K, whoa. Yeah, that was a single day, but my single loss is bigger. My largest single swing loss ever is like $750,000. It's not stuff that I necessarily want to remind myself about, but yeah, it's a painful one. It's a painful one. So yeah, single individual daily loss, like for one trading session, was 440, but my largest loss ever, and it was a swing loss, was about 750. And that was because AMC is a piece of shit. Was it AMC? It was, in fact, AMC. It was, in fact, AMC. I lost about $50,000 on Hex. That was a pretty brutal one. That might come back, though. I guess I can't count it as like fully a loss yet. Yeah, those are like the big ones that jump out to me. Those are definitely the big ones that jump out to me, I suppose. Matt, we love when you shit on GayTube. Keep it up, bro. We're learning over here while GayTube sniffs rainbow a-holes. Interesting. Is that true? Is that true? GayTube. I think you are the best entertainment trader in YouTube. I appreciate that. That's so kind. I think you're the best community member in YouTube because you're such a nice guy. Even if you account for any win in AMC. No, I'm saying that was like the net situation on AMC. I had winning trades and losing trades, but I'm saying the net was a loss of about 700-ish. It was not fun, kids. But from that year, I'll be able to write off my wins for like until my great grandchildren are dead. What's it, 3K a year? You need to write a book. I think I'm more of like a picture book kind of a guy, maybe with a little bit of finger painting. Matt, today was definitely a Tendy Tuesday. It was 100% a Tendy Tuesday. A beautiful, and I actually think more money is to be had. Is there anything else? How's Tesla's kind of flat? Almost broke down there. MSTR bounced a little bit. Netflix, Palantir, Meta's getting hit down to, dude, I had a short at 710, 720 on Meta, and it was still within today for expiration. The fact that I'm not in that is it's gonna piss me off for years to come. Would you consider Texas Roadhouse giveaway Tuesday on any future 10-day Tuesday? Of course I would. I think we should actually all have a trader meetup at a Texas Roadhouse. Should I bring the show on the road and do a national tour of Texas Roadhouse, and I'll come to like all of your local Texas Roadhouse and we can meet up? I think that's the next place that my content really needs to take me, is a national tour of all the most popular Texas Roadhouses, and that's where we can meet up and do a little bit of like some trading talk. I think that's what it should be. Just find like the 5 most popular Texas Roadhouse locations and just beg them to let me do my show from there. Go to every Texas Roadhouse in the country. Dude, there's hundreds. That would take quite the trip. It would take quite the trip. He's already running from his wife. Dude, probably. If I keep trading like this, your boy's going to need a prenup one of these days, if you know what I mean, you know? Yeah, we're just pinned to this 50 level. Be careful because it might, we're just at the next level. We called out 50, kind of overshot it, kind of recovering. We're just getting pinned to this because it is such a key level. If it fails, watch 5730. If it bounces, watch not only the trend line breakout, but watch pretty much 5780. But I would think that the breakdown is slightly more likely. Let's give this chance 60% and then this chance 40%. That's kind of what I would be looking for here. The NASDAQ. How are we doing on this one? NASDAQ kind of popped. Mag 7 turning a little bit. The SPY is actually going up. We have a lot of puts covering right now. A lot of puts covering. Yeah, I just be careful of this breakdown. We're just kind of like now pinned to this level. Like I said, I think the main move of the day, especially with this prop trading stuff, is going to be catching the second wave of the first impulse. It is the MK impulse trading strategy, the MK impulse trading system, and it has made me a fuckload of money. Any hoozles, folks, that's what I have for you. First of all, shout out to Take Profit Trader, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. Those are the accounts that I made the 7.5K on, so feel free to check that out. Use that code Goonie to not only get 30% off, but you're never going to have to pay an activation fee on those accounts, so you can keep resetting as long as you need, and then from there, no activation fee when you pass the eval and go to the performance. Obviously, also a shout out to Rumble Premium. Use that code Kohrs10 to get yourself $10 off the end. Ooh, looks like we might be breaking down right now. Anyway, I'm going to go hang out with the Discord. I'm going to go chit chat with them for a little bit. We're going to talk about some trades and then probably take a break midday and then come back in the afternoon to see what it brings. I really believe as a trader, especially as a day trader, your edge just disappears midday. The midday is so much chop bullshit that I deeply believe this, and the only data I have is for my own trades. But looking at my own trading journal, if I am trading midday, that is a net losing time for me. If you start to track your own trades, you're going to realize where you're strong, where you're weak. And for me personally, if I'm trading in between 11:30 and 2, 11:30 and 1:30, that midday stuff is absolute bullshit, at least for me. Maybe you have a system that takes advantage of the choppiness. I don't know. That's up to you. But for me personally, this is just not the time for me to be trading. What's the Discord link? Folks, the link to get into the Discord is in the description of the video. You first have to sign up for Locals. Locals is the account management that allows you access to the Discord. It should be like the second pin message. Everything I use, my charting, spot gamma, Take Profit, Rumble Premium, Apex, my trading strategy videos, it's all in the description of the video. Regardless if you're on Rumble, regardless if you're on your YouTube, if you have any questions about what I'm using or anything like that, there's a high odds chance it's just in the description of the video, as it always is. So make sure to check that out. But obviously, today was a nice Tendy Tuesday, made a killing, up about 100K. Very stoked about it. Like I said, I'm going to go hang out on the Discord. I appreciate all the good vibes. Be on the lookout. Might be streaming tonight. President Trump will be having a live talk at 9 p.m. tonight. Obviously going to have a big impact on the economy and thus the stock market. That's at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight. So we might end up streaming that. I need to kind of talk to my team and my producer to see what's going on today. So I just want to call that out to everyone just so you know. And so we might be doing that. And then we're going to be posting an update video for sure. That's going to come out around 7 p.m. So update video at 7 p.m. Trump speaking at 9 p.m. and then streaming once again tomorrow morning. So I hope to see you there bright and early. That's what I have for you. I love you all. I appreciate the good vibes. I'll catch you later. Peace.